Hey, happy Friday. The weekend is here. How is everybody? Welcome to Crypto on the Rocks. I have to admit, I am running a little bit late, but even with that, I started without you. Cheers. All right. This is not financial advice thing. Get that fucking thing out of here. All right. Yeah, that's the kind of night this is going to be. How you doing, everybody? Good to be here. Glad to be here. We've had such positive news in the crypto space lately. It's like we got so many good things to talk about. So I would like you to join me. I'd like to have that conversation with you right here online. So let me copy the link. And I'm putting it in the comments right now so you can all join me live. Now, just to remind you that this is, you'll be able to access that link in the live chat on YouTube and Facebook. But if you're watching on Twitter, you have to message me directly. And during the course of the stream, I'll try to head over there and check things out, especially when it comes time to vote. Don't forget, Crypto on the Rocks. You guys vote for what we are going to dollar cost average into. And let's bring that up right now. There we go. Bitcoin is a given. Again, well, you know what? Before I get into it, let's talk about what we're doing. Then we're going to go take a quick look at the markets. So, all right. So basically the idea is to show you that dollar cost averaging is a good strategy in this case, excuse me, to get into crypto. And done correctly, it will be able to grow over time. So in this first set, and we're going to be talking about some changes that I'm making, little tweaks of DCA options. We have Bitcoin, which is going to be a given. We're taking $25 a week. That's not so much. And DCAing into these cryptos. Now, 15 of it goes automatically into Bitcoin because you just need Bitcoin in your portfolio. Should be the largest part of your portfolio. And then these others, let's see if we can't make that a little bit larger there. There we go. Were picked by people on the stream. So we have LCX. You know what? Let's just flip through them right here. Obviously, Bitcoin is going to be a given. LCX, which is basically a fintech company over in Europe. And again, for people, for whatever we decide to DCA into, we are going to try to earn whatever return you could earn otherwise. However, for LCX, U.S. residents are basically sucking canal water. No way for us to do it. But if you are in one of these countries over here, then you know what? You are good to earn a return on LCX. All right. ADA, Cardano. You know I am a fan of Cardano. We right now, Cardano has not been any of the votes over the last 3 weeks that we've been doing this. And that 3 weeks, well, we'll get back to that. Hold that thought. So Cardano, it needs no introduction if you're a part of this channel. Stellar, XLM, that was last week's DCA. And we're going to look at the numbers later on. So basically, Stellar is looking to help decentralize payments. Let's see what we got here. Quant. For those who are into the ISO 20022 coins, this is definitely one of them. And Quant, think about Quant as like the hub. And that's going to be able to allow blockchains and developers to utilize quant to be able to develop and talk between blockchains. So that's going to be important as we continue to see CeFi, so centralized finance, the TradFi system, move into a more of a hybrid system, and then eventually into a decentralized system. And then HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. Again, another one where you can build all kinds of apps, but they use a protocol called Gossip. And you can stake HBAR, although we're going to, and God willing, I'll be able to record some of that video this week. You have to have a minimum amount in order to do that, the way we're going to be doing it. So if we don't end up DCAing enough to accumulate that minimal amount, we will be not putting that in to a money-making, staking, whatever opportunity. So basically the idea is to show you that with something as little as $25 a week, you can dollar cost average into cryptocurrency. And by doing that on a consistent basis, regardless if the prices are up, if the prices are down, it doesn't matter. You can build aside a nice little nest egg. Now, I know I may get this question again a little bit later. I always pump out all this information straight off when we start the stream, and then I end up, when people join in later, and I am still anticipating at least Philip being here, and hopefully we get some more people who are going to be jumping into the live chat. Matter of fact, if you're out there, jump into live chat, at least say hey, and let me know what you're up to, where you are watching, and if you got questions, what do you want to know? So that $25 a week can build up and become a significant little nest egg. And in order to get to the different cryptocurrencies that you, hey, look at that, I'm back again. It's definitely not me. I know my internet connection is like spot on right now. Top off my beer here. Still doing, matter of fact, this is the end of the Sam Adams Wicked Hazy, so we're definitely polishing that off tonight. But anyway, the idea is to show you that with something as little as $25 a week, you can dollar cost average into different cryptocurrencies, put together a nest egg, and basically, like, hopefully, you know, depending on how much you invest, obviously, move into stuff that could potentially change your financial life and your family's financial life. Now, in order to maximize that, right now we're doing, hold on one second, let me just do this. Right now we're maximizing the input into this particular group of cryptocurrencies. And what I've decided, so let's put it out there now, is that every 6 months, we're going to change the cryptocurrencies that we're DCAing into. Now, if you've been hanging around on Crypto on the Rocks, you know that we just started dollar cost averaging into this group of cryptocurrencies over the last 3 weeks. And so we're basically about almost 12 weeks behind on where we should be to fall into that 6-month time frame. So, cheers. So what I've decided we're going to do to catch up and hopefully, get a true representation is starting tonight. You're going to get 2 votes. Bitcoin's a given, but you're going to get 2 votes on the altcoins that we're going to DCA into. So start thinking now. What do you think we should DCA into? And then we're going to do that from now until the end of the year. I think that will still put us a little bit shy. We'll probably have to do about another 4 or 5 weeks of like a double dollar cost averaging in. But when we do that, we're going to be doing that against, starting in January, a new crypto portfolio. So you'll get to choose, or at least narrow down, the next crypto portfolio. So watch for that. Probably we'll start talking about that beginning of December. But for now, we're going to be doing two. You're going to vote twice for what cryptocurrency you think we should be dollar cost averaging into. Cheers. Oh my God, that's so good. It's my second favorite from them. I think I'm going to drink my first favorite in a little bit. So where the hell is everybody? Come on. People got to hold down the fort for me while I go get myself another drink. All right. How about we go and take a look at the market? I think that's a great idea. So let's hit CoinGecko. In fact, let's refresh the page a little bit. That way we're getting the most accurate pricing. Awesome. And you know what? Let's make it full screen here. So actually, no, wait, I want to do that. There we go. And let's see what we got. We have Bitcoin at 33,832. That's down a little bit. Even earlier today, Bitcoin was well above 34,000. And now remember, okay, let's pop that in there. When I DCA, I know we vote on Friday, but I don't actually do the DCA, the dollar cost averaging, into whatever it is you guys vote for until the following Wednesday. And my thought process behind that is, well, I mean, if you're going to dollar cost average, you should be doing it on a consistent basis. So for me, every Wednesday, regardless what the markets are doing. But my thought process in a more broad picture, a lot of times retail investors like to jump in or out of the market on weekends, usually starting Friday and then late Sunday night sometimes, because the markets over on the other side of the planet are opening up for Monday already at that point in the Eastern time zone. So I figure Wednesday is literally the middle of the week from the previous weekend where we voted, and midway before the coming weekend where we might see some kind of fluctuation in the price, much like we're seeing here with Bitcoin dropping down below 34,000 and holding at around 33,832. But even earlier, Bitcoin was down to like, I want to say 33.2, something like that. So again, a little bit of weakness and profit taking most likely in the market. Ethereum, 1779. Ethereum was up over $1,800. But I mean, for the longest time, it was hovering, pretty consistently around that $1,600 mark. So, to see it at 1779, I'll take it. BNB, 224. Can't scoff at that. XRP. I know we got a lot of XRP people. It's still up almost 5% over the last 7 days, but you can see down about 1.5% over the last 24 hours, holding pretty steady around 54.5 cents. Still doing good. Solana, I'm going to talk about it because it's still up almost 16% in the last 7 days, although down over 4.5% in the last 24 hours. I'm no fan of Solana, but it is what it is. I know we have a lot of people who do tune in who like Solana, but yeah, that would not be me. Cardano, ADA. Here we have Cardano. 14.5% to the positive in the last 7 days. If you ask me, Cardano is a sleeping giant, but who the hell am I, right? Some old guy on the interwebs, not financial advice. I see some more people have jumped in. Hey, jump in that live chat. Let me know who's here. Say, hey, got questions, put them in there. We'll talk about them. And if you're looking to join me live and come and talk live about this, again, link to do that is in the live chat. All right, let's jump back to the markets here. Chainlink. Again, I love Chainlink. How can you look at this? 46.3%. Crazy, right? That's humongous. I get it. It's only up 0.5% in the last 24 hours, but come on. Huge moving Chainlink, and not for nothing, Chainlink has a huge future, in my humble opinion. Where am I? Litecoin. Again, you guys know I like Litecoin for what it's meant to be, up almost 5%, down about 3% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin Cash, again, the same thing. Meant to be spend your BCH. Don't mind Bitcoin Cash. Avalanche, AVAX, still up 14% over the last week, but down 5% in the last 24 hours. That's a big move by AVAX right there in the last 24 hours. All right, XLM, like I said, that was what we were dollar cost averaging into. That's what you guys voted for last week. And again, remember, today you get 2 votes. 2 votes. We're voting twice today. So make sure that you are already thinking about what you're going to be voting for. Two votes going on today. So, yeah. Let's see if I can't pop that. Oop. That wasn't what I was trying to do, but we'll do that. There you go. So LCX, HBAR, Quant, Stellar, and Cardano. All right. Figure it out. All right. Back to the market here. Monero. Yeah, again, as privacy coins go, you can't beat Monero. Up 3.5% over the last week. Up 0.5% today. Cheers. Still love Monero. All right. Hedera, HBAR, and 20 of your other options today. Up 7% over the last 7 days, but down 4%. Oops, sorry about that. In the lap. Well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Poop. Here we go. In the last 24 hours. Let's see what we got here. Quant. Gotta love Quant. Look at this. Like last week, Quant was at like $85. Up to 105. Up 21.3%. And was at like $95 when I dollar cost averaged in. So as you'll see when we look at where our current portfolio is, we are up on Quant. The only thing that's kind of upside down right now in our portfolio is LCX. So let's see what else we got here. Let's see if there's something else worth our time. Caspa, did you all see that video from from Crypto Jar about Casper. Remember, I was asking, I'm like, geez, I wonder if with the price action in Casper that Crypto Jar was able to get his ROI back. And he actually, it was kind of funny, like the next day or the day after, he did a video, and I even commented on it like, man, I was just saying this on my live stream. He did give an update. Matter of fact, if nobody jumps on in here, come on, people, join me. The link to do that in the live chat. Come talk live with me about crypto. You can decide what we talk about. Come on. Don't forget, voting. You can start voting now if you want, to be completely honest with you. So whatever ones you think we're going to be, and remember, two today. Where's my two? Two. You get 2 votes today. So put 2 of them in the live chat and let me know what you want to DCA into. All right. So maybe we'll, if nobody joins me, maybe we'll take a look. We'll let Crypto Jar's video play while I go grab myself another drink. Let's see. Cheers, by the way. Algo. You know what? I like Algo. I do. I think another one with a bright future. 8.5% over the last 7 days, down about 2.5% in the last 24 hours. Thorchain. Okay. I know I've got some people who are not necessarily fans of Thorchain, but I want to tell you what. I really do. I like their decks. I just do. There's a lot of ways to access it, and you can pretty much swap anything there. And when it comes to, like, I've already started thinking about, now, again, I know some people are just joining in, so let me recap what I've talked about just a little bit to catch everybody up. Welcome, by the way. Appreciate you being here for Crypto on the Rocks. Where's your drink? Come on. Let me see. What are you drinking? Tell me in the live chat if you don't want to come talk to me online. Feel like I don't know. I'm sitting here drinking by myself, for crying out loud. Come on, people. Cheers. All right. So to recap about the dollar cost averaging, this particular group of cryptocurrencies that we're giving you the opportunity to decide what we're going to dollar cost average into. I want to do a change every 6 months, but because we started this late, we only started DCAing into these cryptos about 3 weeks ago. We are way behind approximately 12 plus weeks. So my thought process is that we're going to double up from now to the end of the year, which is why I'm telling you, you get 2 votes tonight. Two. And I think we might have another 4 or 5 weeks once we get into the new year. But come the beginning of December, you're going to be able to help to iron down the next group of cryptocurrencies. And I think the theme in our next group of cryptocurrencies that you're going to be able to decide if what we DCA into, dollar cost average into, is going to be Web3. Because Web3 is going to be huge. It's still being built out. There is still so much to do and learn about Web3. Matter of fact, I did an entire interview with Jason, who is a P2E, play to earn. That's what he does. He plays to earn, like video games. I mean, you hear how currently you can basically play video games and earn money. Well, he's taken that into the cryptocurrency space, and we did an entire interview about that. And maybe I'll go look that up in a minute if we got somebody else on here, and I'll throw the link to that video in the live chat. That way you can go and watch that. But that is a way that you're going to be able to access Web3. And I think that these play to earn games and the Web3 development that's currently going on is going to be huge with regard to cryptocurrency adoption. I think it's just going to be one of the ways that a lot of these younger people get into cryptocurrency. I mean, you think about it, they're already, if they play video games, they're already familiar with the in-game items you can win, and some of them that have money. The difference is that these new Web3 games are using NFTs, and with an NFT, the player actually owns whatever it is. Could be the shield, the sword, the gun, the car, the whatever it is you've earned in that game via that NFT. Even if you were to leave the game, like Jason gave an example in that video of he knew of someone who had been barred from a game. Like, I don't know what he did. I have no idea. We didn't get into that information. But the fact that he was barred from the game didn't matter because he still owned the NFT. So, like, he did not lose his, I forgot what the article was already at this point. But whatever it was, you own the NFT, you take it with you. Or you can sell it, I guess. If you're not able to play the game anymore, maybe it's worth selling. You own it. Kind of like your crypto. Not your keys, not your coins. You have to own your crypto. Anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Come on, people, jump in that live chat. You know what? I'm going to put the link to join me back in the live chat because I know sometimes it doesn't always stay in the chat for whatever reason. And again, if you're watching me on Twitter, hit me up send me a message, a direct message, because for whatever reason, Twitter cannot access the live chat. But if you are watching me on Facebook or YouTube, hit me up in the live chat. Say, hey, ask a question. Come on. Help a boy out now. Help a boy out. Cheers. All right. I know we kind of dumped on the market there. But anyway, so just to bring it back around. So you get 2 votes tonight. And then starting in January, we'll be going into whatever that Web3 dollar cost averaging group will be. And again, somewhere around the beginning of December, we'll talk about that. And then once we get this particular group of dollar cost averaging to 26 weeks, because that would be half the year, that'll be put aside. I'm going to move it into a cold storage wallet. Guess what cold storage wallet I'm going to move it into? Come on. Put it in the chat. Let's see if you can get it. Before I show you, come on. Put it in there. Well, too late. It's going in the Tangem wallet. Tangem has an entirely new wallet. Frankly, if you are looking for a cold storage wallet, I'm sorry. Winner, chicken dinner with Tangem. You don't have to worry about dealing with a seed phrase. You can just back up your cards. And if you watch my video about that, like less than 5 minutes, set up, backed up, and ready to go. That's unheard of with a cold storage wallet. And then guess what? Take that card, boom, safe location. You don't have to deal with the seed phrase. However, Tangem is coming out with a new card that gives you the option to be able to have your own seed phrase. Because again, I get it, a lot of people. All right, we got to vote for Monero. Thank you for voting, but you get one more vote. And guess what? Sorry, Lori, Monero's not on the list for DCA. I feel bad because, yes, Monero. Privacy coins are going to be one of the ones that we could DCA into eventually. But right now, Monero's not on the list. So give me 2 other options. Let me put it up to give you your options here so you can see, because I know, Lori, I know you're here every week lately, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But we need to keep to this. So LCX, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, Quant, Stellar, XLM, or Cardano, ADA. So please, 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 if you're here and I can see there's a bunch of people, come on, jump into the live chat and tell me which one of those. And Lori, hold that Monero until we actually start doing some privacy coins, and then that can be your vote right there. But I appreciate you chiming in. You get 2 more options here. Come on, jump on in there. Let me know what you're thinking. I appreciate it. I see more people jumping in. Please vote. Here's your options: LCX, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, Quant, QNT, Stellar, XLM, and Cardano. Vote. What are we going to DCA into? Again, remember, tonight, you get 2 votes. Actually, until the end of the year, you're going to get 2 votes every week here on Crypto on the Rocks. And I really appreciate everybody being here on Crypto on the Rocks, because I hate drinking alone, man. Come on, pick up a beer or whatever your favorite drink is. Come on. But I'll tell you what, if somebody doesn't come jumping on in here, damn, man, I'm going to have to play a video so I can go get me more drinks. All right. Awesome. Where are we? Let's do this. All right. So again, 2 votes tonight. Two. You didn't know you were going to get me dancing on here tonight, did you? Yeah. Well, if I keep, thank you. I appreciate that. But you still need to vote again. You still need to vote again. So again, LCX, HBAR, Quant. Help me. Cardano. And I'm an idiot because I can't remember. Hello. Oh, Stellar, XLM, the one I just dollar cost averaged into this week. You guys want to see that now? Do you guys want to see what the portfolio looks like right now? Okay, here we go. We got to vote for Stellar. Thank you. But you get 1 more. You can pick 1 more this week. From now until the end of the year, you get to pick 2 because we got to kind of play a little bit of catch up right now. So Stellar, 1 vote in for the Stellar. Come on. And again, if you're watching on Twitter, send me a direct message. I promise I will check that before the final votes are in, so you can make sure that your votes are tallied. But let's take a look at the hello. Let's take a look at our portfolio. Well, hello, Keith. Come on. And here we go. So again, I put these prices in like as current asset prices before I started the live stream, but these are pretty close right here. So this is where we are at. Let's make that full screen here so you can see. All right. So you can see I did 3 purchases of BTC. By the time you come back next Friday to Crypto on the Rocks, there'll be 5 purchases in there because, again, we're doing double purchases starting this week. But we are up 11.09% with an average buy-in price of $30,394.55, or say round that up 56. We currently have purchased 00134,658 Bitcoin, and the current asset price right there. So you can see the current value, total amount invested, the fees we've incurred, and that is the net investment for Bitcoin. The LCX is where we're a little bit upside down right now, a little bit negative. Come on, people. Give me another vote. Keep the votes coming. Bring it in here. We got 1 vote for Stellar. Keep them coming. Lori, don't forget, you got another vote. Come on. Jump on in there. But LCX, we did 1 purchase of LCX. Got it at about just over 4 cents. Picked up 222 of those bad boys. And but the current pricing for that is just under 4 cents. So we're down 1.5% on our LCX. But don't worry. Quant was one of the ones that recently was purchased. And again, Quant, I bought it. By the time I bought it, the price had gone up from that $85 mark to $99.63. And again, that was a $10 purchase. So, but right now the price is at $105.61. So even though we have a net investment of $9.01, we're up 5.67%. 5.67%. All right, we got another vote in. LCX. All right. Philip's going to be happy if he ever shows up here. LCX. Where is my brother, Philip? Come on, Philip. Jump on in here. I know you. Where's Wendy? Wendy. Come on. Remind him. All right. Let's get back to this. So that's where we are with Quant and XLM right here. We got in at a 10-cent mark. We picked up 85.95. And the current price is 11.1 cents, basically 11.2 cents. So our net investment value is 901, but we are still up because of that price action, 6.25%. 6.25%. So far, $75 has been invested from fiat, so US dollar. We've incurred $7.44 in fees, and net investment $67.56, and currently up 9.52% as of this live stream. Winner, chicken dinner. You can't do any better than that. All right, so there we are. Cheers. What are you drinking? Come on, people. Tell me. All right. So we went through the market. I'm asking you to vote. The voting is live. So vote. Appreciate that. Got some votes in. And yeah, BTC. We're going to be putting BTC regardless. So just to be clear, $15 of the $25 goes to BTC straight off. Then, and well, in this case, again, 2 votes. So technically $50 this week going to BTC. I'm sorry, $30 going to BTC out of the 50. And then those two $10 are going to go to whatever wins out of what's left in the crypto portfolio. So keep voting, please. Keep voting. All right. You know what? Crypto Jar has put together, I'm trying to, while I'm talking to you here, I'm trying to go look and see if I can't find it. I want to show his Caspa video. Let me see if I can't pull up his channel real quick. There is his channel. And he did a great video tonight. Maybe later we'll watch that. We'll see. But right here, here's the earnings video. So before whoops. Wait, where am I? There I am. God, live stream. Okay, sorry. Little things. Ba-deep, right here. All right, so here we are on Crypto Jar's channel. And right here, this is the video he put out today. We'll watch that later. Right here. But this is the one where he's answers the question about the his ROI on Caspa. So make sure my volume's up here. I'm going to turn that on. And just so you know, cheers. I need another damn beer. All right. So Crypto Jar is going to keep you entertained for a minute while I go get me another damn beer. So let's bring that back up. Let's start that video and let's see. Now you can learn
since my last update,
what his ROI is.
Not a lot has happened, but I did want to fill you on my earnings and how much I've progressed so far. When I first started mining Caspa, I estimated that I would earn roughly $27 a day, and I actually did earn above that for the first week or two. Now I'm actually earning 27 Caspa per day, which at the current price is $1.36.
So lame.
Before I get into the other details, let's get right to the money. So all these numbers are actually in my blog, and I've linked that in the description if you want to go over them. So you can see I started this July 19th. I was doing really good for the first couple of weeks. You can see that it was going over actually 700 Caspa per day, and then it slowly went down. This was expected because we knew that the KS3 was coming out, and it got bad and got really, really bad by the time we got into the 30th day, which is August 17th. And I was down to 165 Caspa per day. For the next 30 days, it continued its downward slope. And you can see over here that I'm at 52 Caspa per day on day 60. October 6th, which is day 90, I was at 37 Caspa per day. I've been averaging 27 Caspa per day, which is terrible. But it is what it is. And here we are. My total Caspa earned is 18,636.55. Okay, and I'm just going to jump over to CoinMarketCap and see what the total value of that is. With the current price of Caspa hovering at about 5 cents, I'm at $938.40. Not too bad. Let's take a look at the reason why I'm not earning as much as I used to, and that's the difficulty. When I had first started this, we had just broken through 2 petahash, which I thought was really high then. It's absolutely insane right now, and it's going to keep going. I don't know where the roof is on this one, but we're looking at 52.48 petahash, and you can see this thing skyrocket in August. And a bulk of my earnings actually happened in this period of time right over here. And then this is basically when the KS3 started coming out, and it's been taking off ever since. And what else is also interesting is Ice River has launched another KS0. So Ice River has released the KS0 Pro. The big difference that you want to notice over here is that this one is going to be mining at 200 gigahash, which is double the current one right now. And the current model that I have is a 65 watt. This one is going to be 100 watts. So that's going to be the main difference over there. The PSU, as you can see, is not included. So you're going to have to go and buy your own PSU, or maybe they'll add it later on. I don't know. That's what they did with the last one. But no price yet. I don't know how much this is going to cost. If it's anywhere near where this one was, $1,000, I think it's a complete waste of money. Even though they have not given the price yet, I don't think they're going to be pricing this accordingly. I think they're going to be overcharging like they did the last time. I don't know if they have changed the chipset in any way. I don't see any major changes to it. Unless you're a hobbyist like me and you're mining for fun. And I like box miners because they're great for home use. This is the...
Okay, I got to ask the question. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Jar, and we'll let him finish his video because you know what? Why not? I mean, if you're interested in Caspa, why not learn? But how many of you out there actually mine as a hobbyist? Like, because you got nothing better to do, so you're mining because, yeah. I don't know. I'm just asking. What? Yeah. All right, let's get back to the video. Sorry.
Gold Shell Mini Doge Pro. I'm just mining and holding and let it accumulate because it doesn't take very much power. It's a nice reason to have it on a shelf. So maybe that's for you. It's not for me. I don't think that this is going to meet the right price. So one of the things that I was looking at doing was solo mining because I thought that would be a good way of increasing my profitability with the KS0. But when I was looking at doing that, they actually dropped a new set of firmware. And with this new firmware, there's been some overclocking abilities. Now, this post is from Insider Threat. So here's the instructions. I'll be linking this in the description below. It goes through the steps of updating the firmware and how to overclock it. And with these steps, you're going to actually be increasing your hash rate from 100 gigahash to 140 to 160. So a lot of potential to increase it by 40 to 60%, which is nice to see.
Okay, would you like the spoiler alert? Because that's the other video I said I might let you watch. The overclocking did not go well. Just saying. Anyway, sorry, Jar. I keep interrupting you, brother. Go ahead.
Although I don't think it's going to make too much of a dent in your earnings, but it's going to give you a little bit more, which is going to be nice. One of the big things to notice over here is that it requires more power. So they have actually tested a few different power bricks. I actually purchased the first one in the list. This is 180 watts. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that new power supply fits properly. I'll do the firmware update, and then I'll go through all these steps to upgrade my KS0. And if you're interested in a video of me walking you through it step by step, let me know in the comments below. The market is starting to get hot right now with the possibility of a Bitcoin spot ETF being approved by the SEC. So that's great. And that's going to help the price action for Kaspa and all other cryptos in general. I'll be keeping a close eye on that, and I'll keep you updated on my progress with this Kaspa KS0. And that's what I'm going to be doing with my KS0. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.
All right, let's close that out, but we're gonna hang tight on his channel here. So if we're gonna watch that, it's kind of funny. I got people messaging me going, "Where's Philip?" And I think it's hilarious because he's as big a celebrity as I am, I guess here. So yeah, it's all about Philip. Oh my goodness gracious. Philip is having some family issues, so he's busy dealing with those. He actually quite literally just messaged me to tell me, and he said he's going to try to join us, but if he does not, I understand completely. Family first, always. So yeah, family first. So Philip, I hope you're able to work everything out. I hope everything goes well. I know there's been issues going on with health-wise there. So yeah. So that to answer everybody's question that's messaging me, yeah, Philip may not be joining us tonight, unfortunately. So where are you people? Come on. I need somebody else here to help me. Lori, come on. All right. I get it. I know Lori. She probably doesn't want to do that. Get your brother. Tell him, come on. It'd be a good time to have that conversation. But anybody, link is in the live chat. Come and join me. And yeah, we will move on from there. Now, for those who care, let's see. Can you see that? Oktoberfest, Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I have now swapped over. Here's the thing. This is one of those limited editions by Samuel Adams. And so you got to kind of get it while it's here. And pretty soon it ain't going to be here anymore. So cheers. Philip, I hope all goes well with the fam. Please keep me in the loop, brother, if I can help. You know. Love that man. He is a good man. Him and his family. Talk about good people. You know, you hear all this crap going on with the world, and it just seems like everybody's lost their fucking mind in this world. Truly. It just makes you wonder. You know what I mean? And then you come across good people like Philip and his family, and you're like, your faith in the world gets restored. And here's the thing. You've all heard, if you've been here, and some of you have been, obviously, because you're asking me, hey, where's Philip? So you've probably heard Philip talk about his learning and his journey learning about cryptocurrency, because all things being equal, he's a newbie too. You know, he's come a long way. Don't misunderstand me. But I mean, he's still learning. He really is. He asks me questions all the time. And I know a lot of times on the live stream here, he's not always asking the questions, but like he'll send me a text message or whatever the case may be and ask. And that's cool. No problem with that. But his kids, all about cryptocurrency. All about it. And good for them, because honestly, they need to start making that move. They need to start putting that money into cryptocurrency. They need to start dollar cost averaging in order to, like, put themselves in a good position, because crap is going to collapse. It is collapsing. They're just doing it in slow motion. They're hiding it from you. It's not like you're getting the most truthful information on the news, if that's what you watch. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, time to start dollar cost averaging. And for those of you, I know, because I see some of the names here on the stream right now. I know that many of you have not even started to invest in cryptocurrency, and that's okay. I know that investing in cryptocurrency intimidates you because it's not something that you know, and that's okay. But I really, really implore you to consider starting to invest in cryptocurrency, and I will help. You can message me privately, Twitter, Facebook. Hell, my email's in there somewhere. Message me, and then we'll talk about figuring it out. Okay? I want to help. You can't let a lot of people's mindset is the government will save you. And I love the Ronald Reagan quote. Like, the worst words you could ever expect to hear from the government. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. That should scare you, first off. And second off, not for nothing, especially with this administration. Oh, wait, did that flip out? I'm sorry. They ain't here to help. They're definitely not here to help. Just saying. So if you need help, I am here to help. Reach out to me, okay? Reach out to me. Okay, you know what I'm going to try and do right now? We'll throw, because I think it's kind of funny too, we'll put Jar's other video up there while I go check Twitter, because I want to check Twitter to see if there's any votes on Twitter. We have votes here so far for LCX and what was that? LCX and Stellar. So again, please vote, because we're going to wrap the voting pretty soon. So I'm going to go check Twitter, but in the meantime, let me get that video from Jar. Jar, come and help me out, brother. Appreciate it. Here it is. Let's give this a listen. I love the I love it. There you go.
So I just talked about upgrading my KSO. This is the new PSU. I'm going to go ahead and, right, so this is the PSU. And I'm going to be putting it back over here on my shelf to test it out. Got the new power supply over here. You can be following the steps from Instead of Threats GitHub page. When you're overclocking, you're more than likely going to be voiding the warranty. I'm going to be voiding my warranty right now just by following this. And it's letting you know all the potential risks. It lets you know that there is no guarantee. Your warranty is now void when you do this. They're not taking any responsibility. It's also letting you know that cooling and ventilation is extremely important. You want to monitor this regularly because you don't want this to overheat. And expertise, well, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to be giving it a shot. All right, so we got the risks and everything out of the way. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our firmware. And I'm going to be going over to the Ice River website. They have all the versions. We're going to be downloading the KS0, and that's been downloaded. And now we're going to go over to the upgrade firmware section, and then we're going to be selecting the file. We're in our downloads folder, and here is the extracted folder, and here is the updated file. Go ahead and click on open, and then we want to click on the update button. We'll let it update. Okay, so I don't know if it's required, but I'm going to quickly restart this. So it just rebooted, nothing with the hash rate or anything else changed itself, but We look like we're good to go. All right, so we're going to be using the files right over here. What they're suggesting is you start with 160 and work your way down. Yes, you definitely want to try to get the most hash rate that you can. So I'm going to be downloading this 160 file. Click on the firmware upgrade button. Then we're going to click on select file. And here is the update 160 BGZ. So I'm going to select this and click on open. All we have to do is click on this update button, and it's going to update the firmware. This might take a second or two for it to do that.
Okay, so I'm pausing that for a second because I see Brian from Tiny Crypto Blog. Let's bring him in. Oh, hey, here he is. Hang on.
Hey.
Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Sorry about that. I was so busy on Twitter I actually got barraged with votes for our dollar cost averaging on Twitter. I was surprised. But here's the thing. It was like all single votes. So like I have like a 5-way tie on on everything. So maybe you'll be the guy breaking the tie tonight. We'll see. So welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Okay. Quick question in StreamYard, because I'm trying to figure out settings for. Okay, wait a second. You found a headset.
I can hear you
Okay, I
great,
think
just
this
so you
works.
know.
I'm trying to get the audio through the headset. Camera, audio. These are the Plantronics. Okay, I think I got it. What? There we go.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
So what are the current? What makes the list as far as the options?
Okay, well, okay. Let's first off, I'll put it up so everybody can see, because there's been a little bit of a change since I think the last time you were here, to be honest with you. Not a change in what we're voting for, but a change. My thought process is this. I want to be able to do this $25 a week over the course of like 6 months, and then start again with another group again, for 20, half a year and a half a year and a half a year, to give people the opportunity to see that, you can build, if you pick good crypto, you can still build this portfolio. Doesn't matter if it's up, doesn't matter if it's down, doesn't matter what the altcoins are that you're putting in there, in theory. That's my plan. So my thought process was that I want to do it for 6 months, but we started this particular group right here that you see on the screen only 3 weeks ago. So basically I'm about 12-ish weeks behind. So I am, it is what it is. So what I'm telling everybody to do is vote twice tonight. Everybody out there, vote twice tonight for 2 different cryptos. And I got a bunch of singles over on, yes. I got a bunch of single votes over on Twitter and a couple of single vote. Well, no, I did get a double vote. Lori here in the live chat gave me a double vote. She voted for LCX and Stellar. And on Twitter, just so everybody's up to speed right now, I got 1 vote for Quant, 1 vote for Cardano, and 1 vote for HBAR. So we basically got 1 across the board for everything here at this point. So that's currently where we are, Brian.
Okay. So Quant, refresh me. What does that protocol do?
Yeah, no problem. You know what? I did a whole thing on it. Let's show you. There it is. Okay. Basically, in a nutshell, Quant is going to be the hub for developers, because this is an ISO 20022. That's the new standard for banks trying to get into the DeFi space. And this is, Quant is trying to position themselves basically as the hub for these banks and developers that are going to be operating in the TradFi system to be able to coordinate and build in the blockchain, but then have it be interoperable via Quant to any blockchain.
Is it its own blockchain, or is it a layer 2 built on? Okay, it is. Do they have any?
Let me bring it
bridging
back here. There we go.
and
There we go.
compatibility with other blockchains? Like, do they run a?
That's what they're building. So
Okay.
it becomes like, again, so pick a bank, I don't know. Wells Fargo wants to start dabbling in Bitcoin, this, that, or whatever. They'll, in theory, be able to go to Quant, build what they want to build. And because they did it on Quant, they will then be able to interact with the Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, whatever other blockchain it is that they're trying to interact with. So and again, I guess the key piece to Quant and HBAR, because both of those are ISO 20022 compliant, is the new level of compliance that all banks and TradFi, help me, you know what I'm saying?
Those have to comply with.
Yes, they have to comply with that. And that took, I want to say that took effect at the beginning of this year. Don't hold me to that. Anybody out there, sorry if you know I'm wrong, put the right date in the chat there. But I want to say it was the beginning of this year, which is where we saw a lot of movement with like HBAR and Quant and so on and so forth. Quant was for the longest time up around $150 a pop USD. And it drew back down to about $85. Matter of fact, when Quant got voted in as the DCA for us, it was like 85. But then by the time I went to actually DCA into it, was already up over 95. So it's just the way it is. But yes, that's in a nutshell what Quant is.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now on CoinGecko. Okay, $1.5 billion in value. That's good. Market cap.
Yep. It's easy available for those in the US. So let's talk while we're talking Quant here. It's easy available in the US for those on Coinbase. It's right there, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you can get it on Coinbase. If you're following along with us, again, where's my little ticker here? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some old guy on the interweb. But if you are following along, you can get it on Coinbase.
Okay. You know what? I'm almost inclined to put my votes down for Quant.
Okay. You get 2 this week. You got a second choice?
You know, what the heck? I'll throw out Quant. Let's balance out the portfolio.
Okay. Well, that puts Quant in the lead right now. So if anybody else wants to vote, what time is it? I'll tell you what. We'll hold the vote open until 8:15. So 8:15 Eastern time. So that gives you about another 12 minutes or so. And then we'll close it up and decide. Now, if we end up still with a tie, because that puts Quant in the lead. So right now, somebody else will really have to pull Quant out of the lead here. But if we end up with a tie for whatever the second one's going to be, I'll break the tie myself because why not? I'm here, so I'll break the tie. But so, Brian, talk to me. How you been? I know you put out a few videos. I actually jumped on a couple of those and made sure I sent you some messages there, so I appreciate it. And for those who are not familiar with Brian from Tiny Crypto Blog, the link to his channel is in the description of this live stream. So go show the man some love.
Thank you. Well, let's see. Outside of crypto, I got to discover what it's like to be a human punching bag. So I'm glad the work week is done.
It sounds a little bit ominous right there.
It's one of those brutal things where short staffing in one part means your team has to fill in the blanks, and then everything rolls downhill and you're covering for someone, and then the things you normally do don't get done, and so it's but the demands are still there, so
yes, they are. They never go away.
No. So but outside of it, I was thinking to myself the other night, one of the things I was gonna talk about on my weekly wrap up or weekly summary video was, so there was the news that broke this week with the ETF filings on, what was it, like the clearinghouses or something like that?
Yeah, DTCC listed help me, iShares, which is the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF listing, so it's there. That also puts them in a position to be able to start buying some Bitcoin now. I did hear a rumor about ARK Invest being listed. However, I saw something later on that was not accurate. And as of this minute, because honestly, I didn't go back to try and really drill into that, I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. Do you know?
No, I heard pretty much what you heard, which is they were both there, but then that you've heard that it's not the case, then okay, it bears some extra investigation.
Yeah. Now the one for BlackRock is definitely there, and I think I did my last live was something where did it get canceled because like it got pulled off, and as a matter of fact, the entire website, the DTCC website, went down, and then the website came back up, and when it came back up, the iShares listing was back. So far as I know, as of this minute, it is still listed on that website.
Okay. So here's one, just a random thing to throw out. If you've got the one thing I've never learned or heard anyone talk about was the mechanics of how an ETF would accumulate the Bitcoin that they need to. So for the people new to ETFs, the way it works is if, say, the market cap of an ETF is $100 million, whatever asset that's supposed to be tied to, they're supposed to have $100 million of that asset. So if it's like a gold, they're supposed to have $100 million worth of gold. If it's oil, it might be in a derivative form like contracts, and so on. And so with Bitcoin, if there's a Bitcoin ETF and the value of it is $100 million, you need $100 million of Bitcoin. Now, I know they could use the over-the-counter market,
Yes,
which a lot of the exchanges have, where you can work off things that, private deals. You've got exchanges if you need to. But one thing I thought of was, what if, and I don't know if this is something that'd even be feasible, but if I were running one of these funds, I'd definitely be looking into it, especially with as much liquidity as BlackRock. What if they did some sort of equity deal with a public miner where it's like, hey, we will provide X amount of dollars of funding. You guys set up and host the equipment. We get the majority of the returns. You get your profitability share, essentially using them as hosting, but not owning the equipment outright, by different means. And then that would create another source to get.
That's an interesting thought. Now, have you heard about that being done? I haven't heard about that.
No, but
okay,
I'm thinking about that, like, just because BlackRock or just a lot of these funds have their fingers in so many different things.
No, you're right.
And then if you think about it, like BlackRock, they're probably so invested with the oil companies that, the way that there's the industry of taking flare gas, which for anyone not familiar, that's the natural. So when you drill oil, you might also come across pockets of natural gas, but if there's not enough to justify a pipeline, they'll just burn it and flare it out, kind of like the eternal flame for Kennedy. And someone came with the idea, hey, you could take that trapped gas, hook that up to a generator, burn that and use that for fuel, and then get a container with a bunch of Bitcoin miners and then use that flare gas to mine Bitcoin. You get the environmental benefits of, instead of ejecting, like, it reduces methane emissions, but it also monetizes what was originally just a write-off loss.
Well, I was just going to say, they monetize the loss. Yeah, absolutely.
And I know over the last few years, I've seen a lot of articles quietly talking about, like, this oil company or that oil company is experimenting with something like that. What if they worked out something with BlackRock? It's like, hey, we're willing to monetize this. You give us a slice of the action. We'll take care of the physical hardware. You provide the funding.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that is a really interesting thought. I had not actually even considered that. But I like the idea. I wonder if that's something they're doing. I wonder if as things progress, we'll hear about that. That's interesting.
If I were running the fund, I would definitely be exploring that option. Like, for all I know, there could be legal rules, there could be taxation rules. I don't know. But from a practical standpoint, it's like if I could get my own dedicated stream, plus anything that they had in excess, like they could either, I don't know if they'd be able to hold on to that extra in case the value of the fund goes up, and then they can move it over into account and balance it out, or if they want to sell that on the open market
Yeah,
at a
sell it.
premium. Yeah. So
No, that's very interesting. See this, and this is why I said go down to the link in his channel and head over there, because this guy thinks about stuff that I'm not gonna lie, that wouldn't have hit my head. I mean, all of what he's talking about, I've heard of. I think I've even talked about on a couple of live streams. However, the idea of putting that together with the ETF. So thank you, Brian. Go ahead, keep it coming, brother. Keep it coming.
Audience, what Keith has said, one of the things, and that kind of inspired me to start doing the live streams now, was that he said, everyone, even if it's the same topic, everyone brings something a little bit different to the table. And it's those little things that make you go, aha, or, oh, I never thought of that. And
I never thought of that. It's so true. It's so true. It's why I keep doing what I'm doing and trying to bring as many people in as possible, which is why I'm so glad you're here tonight. I really am. I know it's difficult for you because you're in a different time zone than me, so I really appreciate you making the effort.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
The other thing, go ahead.
I was about to say, you're here. What else you got?
The other thing I was going to go into, and I think it'd be a great topic to just develop over time, is preparing yourself, like especially for a lot of people that haven't been through a full bull and bear cycle, how to prepare yourself for a bull market cycle in the adoption phase, where it's like, there's going to be a lot of elation because the prices are going to go up and our egos are going to get stroked so hard.
Yeah, I can't fail.
Yeah. I was the first one to crypto. I'm the smartest guy in the family and everyone I know.
Exactly. Yeah, been there, felt that. Yeah, I understand.
And it's like, I'm going to go into details, like just things to keep in mind so you don't get, because I remember in my first cycle, which was yours, I think in 2017, where it's like you're checking prices multiple times a day. It's like, oh my God, this coin's up. I'm going to jump into this coin, or that coin's up. I'm going to jump into that coin because that's the big mover. And you make so many mistakes. And it's like, once you get into that bear market cycle, you're so tied to the prices that when they start going downhill, it's just a huge psychological break. And I'd say if there's anything that I learned from being through a full price cycle, is that you have to learn to sort of divorce yourself emotionally from the price movements and actually take that step back and look at, okay, what is this project doing? Are they actually developing things? Are they starting to get partnerships? Are they making themselves relevant? And because during that time, I've seen a lot of coins that, there were good ideas, but they didn't get any traction and any wheels
beyond the white paper. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And then, hey, we got listed on an exchange and we did a few YouTube videos with people, but because I remember there was one privacy coin, you might remember it, Cloak coin.
What was it?
Cloak.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which the technology seemed like it was sound, and the guys that were working on it seemed like, hey, we're dedicated to this.
They knew what they were doing. Nope.
Never got traction though.
Nope.
And so it fell by the wayside.
Nope.
And I think
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
How do you feel about privacy coins? Let me ask you that.
The utility has a purpose.
Yes.
But the thing that holds me back from putting anything into it is, how will it be used and adopted? That remains to be seen, because if any, did Litecoin successfully implement Mimblewimble?
That's a great question. I know there was a lot of talk about that, but I think it ended up failing when they tried to roll it out, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, people come on, correct me in the chat, but I believe that did not end up happening.
Because I think because people definitely, there's a need for financial privacy for practical reasons and also personal reasons. Like it's often said, if you're a company and you're transacting in Bitcoin, someone can just look at that wallet address and they'll find out how big your treasury is, or they
Yep.
can, do the tracking on the
Yep.
blockchain. And I know if you use the Lightning Network, you get sort of a pseudo anonymous because not all the movements are, on chain, but still, it's not
Yeah,
something
no,
where
it's
it's
not.
robust enough for,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would think it's trackable. I mean, I know there's some because of the lawsuit going on, and what's the one? Chainalysis, CEO or CTO, whoever it was that was testifying, basically couldn't tell the judge that yes, we are 100% sure that we can track this. So that puts a bit of a cloud around their tracking abilities, but that's tracking ability the way I look at it, that's tracking abilities with today's technology. The fact that they're going to be able to do that in the future, to me, is just a given, even if they're not completely able to do it today.
And if not them, it could be someone else.
Well, and exactly, because there are several companies out there. It just happened that was the one who was on trial. Could I interrupt for 1 second, Brian?
Sure.
Okay, we're past the 8:15 mark, so I'm gonna let Brian jump in here and continue talking about this, because honestly, this is great topics. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna go check Twitter to see where we are, and then we'll come up with the final tally for our DCA this week.
Oh, so am I carrying the bridge right now?
Right now, you the man.
Okay. So, yeah, going on to one of the things I was going to discuss in my weekly update, which I'll be doing in about an hour and 15 minutes, is talking about how to prepare yourself, especially if you're new to the space, for a bull market, because a big part of it is, prices are going up. All the things that you've been reading about, you've been researching, you've been learning, they're coming true. It's coming to fruition. We're getting our validation. We're right. But it's also, we can't base success solely on price alone. That's one metric that we can use to assess value, that we can use to kind of get an idea of, say, the scope of adoption, in a way where you could say, well, when Bitcoin was $1,000, you could also, if you really want to get technical, tie it to on-chain metrics and go, see, there's almost a correlation between the price and the amount of Bitcoin transactions on chain. But so you got the full tally of.
I did.
Oh,
But I wasn't going to interrupt you. We let you finish your thought process, and then I'll give everybody the heads up of what's going on.
okay. I'm trying to not go too deeply into detail, so I have something to talk about on my.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't go and take it out of here over here. All right, so that means everybody's got to go subscribe to his channel and got to go watch and see what he's putting out there for information. Lord knows I'll be doing it, and I'll be sharing it with you guys. So, but I'll tell you what. Wrap up your thought process at least, and then I'll kick over to it.
And part of it is, you're going to experience a lot of emotions. You're going to have people who are going to get excited about this, and they're going to panic buy and FOMO in, and they're going to be jumping in, and you'll have friends telling you, and it's just going to be, you are going to be on an absolutely unbelievable ride of never-ending euphoria as it just keeps mooning. And then when it hits the new all-time high, when in this cycle, and I believe it's going to hit 6 digits and go past 100,000. It's going to be all over the media. You're going to see it every day in Twitter. You're going to see it on your Facebook stuff, where it's Bitcoin everywhere. And, we're going to get so much validation about how we were right, even during FTX and the Terra Luna collapse. And we've been right for years. And now it's being adopted by institutions. But keep in mind that the only thing that differs between these news headlines and what happened, say, like in 2018 and 19, or late 22 and into early 23, is that the prices would be going up. if you report that news during a bear cycle, that's when, if someone were to challenge you about your beliefs in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrencies, you kind of have to stand up for yourself a little bit and say, well, the prices may be down, but look at this. See, they're adopting it, and family offices are looking into this, and it's not dead. The adoption curve is going to keep going up regardless of the prices.
Yes.
And the more people learn about this, and the longer they're in the weeds, like Keith and I have been, the more they're going to have that perspective to go, this is just the prices, it's just part of the adoption cycle. The prices
Yes.
go up, the prices go down, you get all that leverage that unwinds, and then you hit that bottom, you hit that sandpaper phase, and then it starts to slowly build like it is now. And you can feel that excitement where it's like a coiled spring just ready to pop. All it needs is,
Yeah, it needs that little pink.
Yep. We're going to get that $5,000 jump in one day, and it's just going to blow things open where kills all the short positions, and then
and
hold
then
on.
it's all belongs. Yep.
And one of the things here, real quick teaser.
Yeah, go.
The one thing I was going to go into too, and I got to remember to prep this too, is as you, the viewing audience, and people like us who have positions or want to add and buy more cryptos or tokens or coins, is that feeling where we don't want to get swept up and feel like, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on the on this rise. I've told people, there's an old proverb that I often quote, when people say, is it too late? And I'll say, the best time to plant a tree was 15 years ago. The second best time is today. And the best way to do it is do dollar cost averaging.
Yes.
That way, regardless of if the price is going up, going down, you're slowly adding to your stack and slowly building it, so that if you do it daily, weekly, monthly, depending on what service, what apps you use, you're still getting in. So when the price goes up, you're getting in. When the price drops down and there's a pullback, you're getting in, and you don't have to worry that you're going to miss out because you're doing those regular buys. You're tapped right into the main line, and you are a part of that. And I think that also takes out some of the worry and some of the emotion of, oh my God, do I need to buy some now? Do I want to wait for a pullback? No, you just keep working your way in, and that's going to be
what you do.
Yeah.
You do what you do.
Exactly.
Yep. No,
Okay,
I
so
agree.
that's my wrap up.
No, that's great, man. Thank you for
Oh, sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Sure.
A couple of I know we don't have to go getting like deep into it, but a couple of things. First, how you were talking about market goes up, and what we're familiar with currently with the bull and bear markets, after the halving, then we slowly go back to a bear market and so on and so forth. Do you believe, because I'm taking for granted the fact that an ETF is given, it's going to happen regardless, or multiple ETFs are going to happen regardless. So taking into account that major influx of fiat money into the cryptocurrency space, do you see the market cycle being tamer, I guess is the word I'm looking for, with regard to the bear market? So like right now, for example, we're used to like 85% pullback on Bitcoin. We'll stick with Bitcoin. We're used to like 85% pullback. Me personally, I'll tell you what I think. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. That's just my opinion. Again, not financial advice, old guy. But I'm interested what your thought is about that.
My opinion would mirror yours, because I think as the scope of adoption grows, and also too during in the IRL, in the real world type of thing, we're seeing the use case for Bitcoin also.
Yes.
More and more people are being affected by this, where I think, and I've heard people like in the last cycle talking about this, where as the overall value, and I guess you could say trading liquidity, if you want to throw that into the pool, gets bigger, The amount of fluctuation, both on the upside and the downside, will slowly decrease. It's kind of like the difference between the stock of a tech startup or a big blue chip company that has billions and billions of dollars in market cap. It's almost like the trade-off of price movement for stability. And I also think that because you're getting, just with the adoption cycle, you're getting more people who are recognizing the value propositions of Bitcoin. Just thinking about Bitcoin specifically in this example,
Right.
You will end up, and plus you're going to, just the use case of it's going to expand as well. I think you'll have that much larger of a pool of money and capital that when the prices go down, they see it as a buying opportunity, because they're like Paul Tudor Jones, and it's like, okay, this is accumulation phase. It's on sale for us. We see the value proposition of this asset, and there's no reason for us to sell because we see where the long-term trend is, and if the prices go down, we add.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
I would agree that there's a very good probability that we're not going to see those kinds of wild fluctuations anymore.
I agree. I mean, it's kind of funny because and whatever, everybody's okay. Let's put it out here, people. Okay. I say it all the time in my videos. None of us know. Anybody that's telling you they know is full of shit. So nobody knows. However, logic to me dictates that, if you've got so many people now adopting this particular asset, you have these trillions of dollars flowing into the space because they need to hold this asset. And now, again, like Brian mentioned back in the beginning, this may be in the form of other things like mining collaborations or whatever the case is. And that's you like blew my mind with that. But anyway, so I get that part, but all things being equal, I don't see these wild fluctuations. And again, I'm not saying, and if anybody tells me or says that I said this, screw you. I'm not saying the price is going to keep going up. Absolutely not. The price is going to obviously recoil. It's going to come back. People are going to sell when they need to sell. They're going to buy when they want to buy. There's going to be natural market fluctuation in the price of Bitcoin as it relates to USD. However, I am in the camp that I don't see that 85% pullback stuff anymore. I just don't, especially once these things are approved. No way. No way. Which is, again, why I've been putting out a lot of videos going, time's running out, man, to get Bitcoin at these prices.
Mm-hmm.
Again, old guy, not a financial advisor. But I mean, that's just being logical in my head. You don't have to have an economics degree to realize supply and demand.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I had one other question. And now with that thought in mind,
okay,
what do you see as, because like you just said, buy the dip, et cetera, what do you see people using as that? Okay, we've hit the dip. We've hit the bottom. If it's not going to do 85% again, which honestly, I don't believe, what do you think that dip may look like?
I have no idea. As far as like how deep, how sharp, I think it's going to be heavily dependent on whatever the mood of the herd is at the time.
That's, what? Again, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? And not just just to clarify, when you say the herd, you're not just talking about the you and I's, the retail investors. You're talking about like
everybody.
I agree.
Because I definitely think, when it comes to price predictions, they're only as good as the direction of sentiment. Because I just think of how many times there were people that, they have some sort of trading service and it was during a bull, but then as soon as the sentiment traded, every single prediction that they made for 6 months out just went down the toilet.
Yeah. Amen.
Like
Amen.
Terra Luna collapsed. Well, they didn't factor that into
How
their
do you factor
prediction,
that in? Yeah, exactly.
right? Or FTX.
Yep.
So the only thing what I look at is, I figure what are the things, the like the big picture stuff that would factor it, kind of like what's the big picture stuff, the things I just touched on, and then looking for those little signals, whether it be listening to a podcast, listening to something in mainstream news, looking at the headlines and see what's being mentioned, and then going, oh, wait a second, they're starting to, someone mentioned that, yeah, we're looking at building up the asset base, or we're hiring people, or Vanguard, who I've got a IRA with, they finally changed their song and dance, because for a while I'd asked them, hey, to try it during the last cycle, like, are you guys looking into some sort of Bitcoin products or anything like that? And they said, nope, we're conservative. You couldn't even buy GBTC through them. Fidelity you
Oh,
could, Schwab you
you
could.
froze up there for a second, brother. Sorry.
Oh, what was the last thing you heard?
You said they said they're conservative.
They're conservative. Vanguard was very conservative. Like if you wanted to buy GBTC, you could not do it through their trading service.
Yep.
You could do it through Fidelity. You could do it through Charles Schwab, but you couldn't do it with Vanguard because for them that was too risky, too speculative. So if you start seeing things like, oh, Vanguard's starting to get into the fray, then you can start seeing, okay, it's all those little things that slowly build up, and you realize that's going to be part of the underlying demand, like all those quiet little things that get barely mentioned but do get mentioned, and how, because that's what it is, it's not always going to be big sparkly headlines like Paul Tudor Jones. It's going to be the little mundane things that make up what the face of mainstream adoption is.
Sure.
So,
I 100%, 100% what you're saying. I agree. And what all right, brother. I'm glad to hear that. I hope everything is going well. For those who, Brian, I know I put this out before you kind of got on, so I don't know if you heard it or not. I had people literally texting me, asking me where Philip was, because he's here like every week. And this should be the Philip stream on Crypto on the Rocks, I think. He had some family things going on, so he was taking care of business because family's first, always. And he did say he was going to try and get to us, and I appreciate the fact that you're even listening, brother. And we're gonna. I know I got Brian on here, but I also know he's got some stuff going on that he has to take care of. So, yeah, we're gonna wrap this up shortly. Hold on one second. What's he got here? They said the same thing about what, though, Philip? What are you talking about here? That family first? Because that's correct. I don't know what you're referring to, brother. So let me know what you're referring to. Just to circle back for everybody who was just listening to what Brian had to say. Again, if you're not subscribed to his channel, shame on you. Get into the flipping description of this and go ahead and hello, sign up and listen, because this man makes a lot of sense. Oh, hang on. Hold tight. Hold tight here. Let's see. Philip made it.
Hey.
Hey, real quick comment about what you just said about the was it Fidelity or
Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab.
Yeah, Vanguard. I have 3 nephews who are all in the financial business, and all 3 of them, actually I have 4 nephews, and all the 3 that I'm talking about are all brothers. Well, I should back up. There's only 2 of them, 2 of the 3 brothers who are in financial. I don't know the companies they're with, but they're big ones like Fidelity or some of these other ones that you you get into, and then you have to build your business, and then you get an office and all that stuff. But anyway, my point is, when I asked them about crypto, they were very, very. They did what your guys said. They were just completely like, "Oh, we don't believe in that. It's not something we invest in." And yet, you look at all of these people that are investing, whether it be Warren Buffett, who's invested in, isn't that in the Brazil area? Wasn't that Warren Buffett that put a bunch of money into that?
Yes. Yes.
So you have all of these really, Elon Musk. I mean, these really high profile people who are, I mean, look at Bank of America, what they're doing. I mean, how can you say rather that all of that just doesn't make sense? We don't do that. Our company doesn't do that. Why are they doing that? And the only reason I think that they're saying that is because of what I hear from you guys, as well as other guys like Crypto Crow, and then that Mike guy, that they don't want the average Joe to really take advantage of this and become financially free. I don't understand why they are so negative about it, but it'll be sad if they don't buy crypto and crypto explodes and they're left behind, still peddling their IRAs, their Roths, their 401ks, their, investing stuff. I just don't get it, because I don't know much about everything, but I've listened to Keith for so many years, and not just listening to him, but seeing what he says, and then seeing all these other people say exactly what he's trying to tell me. And it's like, why don't they see it? You know what I mean?
Okay. I want to say this, and then I'm going to let Brian respond, because I'm dead here. I got to go get another one. But I know you and I have talked about this a little bit, Philip. These people in these industries, and Ryan, if you're listening out there, you know that you and I have had this conversation. He peddles the traditional finance stuff, and I got no issue with it. It's what it's always been. And when he and I started talking about crypto, boy, I'll tell you what, if it's a good thing he's not a violent person, because I think he would have got violent when we were talking about crypto. And he is just trained in his head, that TradFi training with the 60-40 and the bonds and the stocks, and that's all they know. And it's drilled into them so much that, like, it's almost like alien to them to think outside the box and almost think for themselves. But yet, Philip, like you mentioned, you've got these big groups, and here's the one, and I'll put it out there because I don't give a shit. JP Morgan Chase, you are like the biggest two-faced. Okay, I'm going to try and control myself because I got other people on here right now, because you're literally telling your own employees, or at least for the longest time, that if they were investing in crypto, they were fired. And anybody that tried to use the Chase card to do crypto, and even today in the UK, you try to use that Chase card, they stop the transaction. But yet, right now, as we speak, JP Morgan Chase has an entire desk dedicated to OTC, because they want to deal with their clients, the ones who have the 6 and 7 figures. They want to deal with custody for those clients. When, like I said, I'm going to go get a drink in a second, but you can do it for yourself, people. You can do it for yourself. You don't need JP Morgan Chase. You don't need Wells Fargo. You don't need any of these people. Hell, you don't need Coinbase. You don't need any of them. You go and you buy it and you self-custody it yourself, because that's how it was meant to be. Okay. All yours, Brian. I'm going to go get a beer.
Well, that was a very high note to leave things on.
Yeah. No rebuttal.
No, none. When I think about like what you're saying about how there's so much skepticism, like I've reached a point where I don't even try and figure out the whats or the whys. I just stand back and go, what am I doing for my own
Right.
self? And I keep in mind that we're only at 5% adoption. 95% of humanity hasn't even traded or bought and sold, or even through like a PayPal app. They haven't even
Yeah.
touched it. So I just gonna I know what I know. I stick to my beliefs and everything that I've learned, and just slowly just keep adding to that stack with dollar cost averaging. And eventually, I think the tide's going to turn where these firms, because of the gains that are going to happen, especially like in the bull cycles, they won't be able to ignore it. People are going to want just regular old fashioned human greed of, hey, this is the easy money. They're going to want to jump in, and that's going to drive things. And pretty soon, one day, Vanguard's, well, we you can buy the Bitcoin ETF. You know, it's BlackRock or whatever it is.
Right.
So what I was saying was, as far,
I could hear you.
oh, okay,
That's
okay,
why I came back with a big smile on my face, because you literally just said what I was going to say. And you know how you get around all this? Dollar cost average by yourself. So you just right there, brother, double slap, because you just said it.
mhm. Yeah, slow and steady. I mean, they're the only. Oh God, I heard someone a couple years back. I don't remember when it was. They said Bitcoin. It was a Bitcoiner saying, like when you're talking about like dollar cost averaging
Mhm.
and not getting swept up with the cycle movements, is that and basically hodling was Bitcoin is the easiest thing and the hardest thing to get rich in.
Yeah.
Easiest because all you got to do is just you know
Yeah.
keep an
Do
eye on
what
things,
you're
keep
supposed to
stacking in.
do. Yep.
But hard because you need that discipline to not go, I'm going to sell some and just cash in the profit. No, just keep going. The prices are going down. I don't know. No, just keep stacking. Just keep stacking.
Well, you want to know something? Can I? Because you just said it, I was gonna
Okay.
go by it and not have this conversation, but you started it, so it's your fault. Um,
You're welcome.
I was going to ask you when we were talking earlier that about taking profits.
Mm,
And I mean, I'm not opposed to taking profits.
no.
I think you should take profits. It helps to give you that extra capital. But now, given everything we talked about earlier with what we seem to agree on the fact that I don't think we're going to see these 80% dips anymore. Where do you take the profits? What's your thought process about that?
My strategy is, if you need to sell, do it because there's a reason for it. Like, I need money for something, whether it's an investment, finances, cover expenses, whatever it is. Don't do it because of an emotional reaction you're having, like panicking. Oh my God, did we hit the top? Am I going to miss out? And that's where getting your education comes into play, so that you can see things in a bigger picture. And so even if you're feeling that emotion, it's like, well, wait, do I actually need this? Because I have to figure out at some point, having some sort, because I'm pulling on my days investing in the stock market back when I was a youth. Uh, Always have a plan. Like, if you have a plan to get in, always have an exit strategy.
Yes. Yes.
And I've been kind of working on that. Like, I could see maybe if I needed it, or if I wanted to, say, take some profits from something and actually sell, it would be, maybe I'll slice off 1 or 2%. That way, and then as time goes on, too, as far as I could see, that 1 or 2% is going to be growing in value over the years. So you can still slice off 1 or 2%. You're still getting the majority of the upside and the benefit of the growth in value from uh, global adoption. But you're not taking out a large enough chunk that you might go back, or I might go back and go, I wish I really had held on to that, And so, I mean, at this point, it's the Bitcoin I have set aside is not a significant chunk of my retirement / old age
Sure.
portfolio. So
Sure.
it's not anything you need to worry about. I can just keep accumulating that. But at some point, it's probably going to reach, just from steady accumulation and also increase in value, it's going to reach a point where I can start looking at. So I mean, it depends. I would say in each individual circumstances where
You just hit it right there. Go ahead.
yes, where I would say if anything, the only thing I would tell a friend, never financial advice, just what I would tell a friend is make sure you hold on to at least something. So you have
Of course.
how's it go? Don't eat your seeds. Don't eat your seed grain. So that you still have something that can grow in value
Can
over
grow.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was just curious because I mean, in the more traditional market cycle of Bitcoin, where you're going up to whatever the new all-time high is, and honestly, even if you're taking profits and in like, for example, in this last cycle where it topped out around 69, 70K, even if you took profits at 50 or 60K, right? I mean, you still took profits because I mean, it came all the way up from, I think, didn't it come up from like 3,500, 4,000 at that point? So
Yeah.
like, if you were able to buy in that range, so for example, I bought in the $7,000 range. I didn't hit the bottom. I didn't catch the bottom. I'll tell you right now, I didn't sell. I'm not going to lie. I didn't take profits. So, but if I did, I was considering it when we were in that 55, 60 range. Had I done it, wow, what kind of profits is that, right?
Mhm.
So, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy, blah, blah, blah. But I think that if people are considering trying to do something like Brian's saying right here, one, it's got to be definitely, you got to be ready for that risk potential, that risk tolerance of like, did I catch the top? Am I going to lose? Am I going to regret it later or whatever? But if you're thinking you still want to take profit, which again, I'm not against at all, you may want to rethink the where and how much. Because like Brian and I mentioned earlier, and I know, Philip, you might have missed this, we were talking about the potential of the next market cycle for Bitcoin being, how Bitcoin's gone up and then dropped like almost 85%. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the potential in this next cycle, if the ETFs come through the way they're going to come through, we may not see that again. So given that, people need to reconsider, in my opinion, their potential profit-taking strategy.
Can't you use your sort of like a portfolio? Can't you use your portfolio similar to your investments, say on the stock market? I mean, people, they use their portfolio as a collateral, right? Is it will I mean, if you had 10 or 15 Bitcoins, even at each one worth what, 30 plus thousand right now, what was it, 34 maybe? Where's
it was
at?
like 33 earlier when we started the stream.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, that's a good kind of collateral that you could use. I mean, you could actually take a coin and give it to somebody. You could cash it out, right? You could cash it out. So here's my money for collateral or whatever. I mean, of course, you got to pay capital gains tax, so you got to figure out that strategy. But can you use at some point when you have, an enormous amount of money in crypto from when you spent pennies to get it, and now it's worth not only dollars, but it could be hundreds of dollars. Will people view that as a portfolio? I mean, or will they always look at that as, well, you could lose everything overnight?
Well, I don't know.
Can't you do the same thing with stock portfolio, right? You can lose it all.
I think you can always look at it that way, and probably even stocks, you should probably look at it that way. Even days like today, I mean, you could literally lose it like that. Yeah. Okay, I just got to put this out there, and then I got to make a quick announcement. my tax guy messages me the other day. I know he's not watching, so we're just gonna say it. Okay. He messages me the other day and he's like, Keith, I really need to let you know something. It's important. I'm like, oh, thinking there's a problem with my taxes, right? Yeah, I don't know what. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? And he said, Bitcoin's going to zero. And when I was done with that, what you guys are doing right there, and listen, I love this guy. He busts his ass doing my taxes. I mean, he is great in the like TradFi section of doing taxes. This whole cryptocurrency and Bitcoin thing has been perplexing for him, even with all the information I give him. So God bless him. And I love you, Ron. If you happen to be listening, and I don't think you are, but if you happen to be, I love you, man. And I'm not like looking to move anywhere. Okay. But I told him I'd be more worried about the banks going to zero than I would about Bitcoin going to zero. Quite frankly. So to play what you're saying, Philip, I get it. And you know what? Could it happen? Of course it could, right? Of course it could. But at the end of the day, I think we doing it smartly, like Brian mentioned, dollar cost averaging, are doing it correctly. And we're going to get the best bang for the buck with regard to that. And speaking of that, I know Brian needs to head out of here in a minute. He's got family obligations he's got to take care of. So I want to give him a chance to kind of wrap up because Brian, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And again, thank you for what you said tonight, because you gave me an entirely new perspective on a couple of things. And I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's always fun to be able to jump on and exchange ideas and talk stuff and just get a chance to talk crypto, because it's like there's still so few people out there. So this is my lifeline. This is my, sitting at the bar and getting a chance to hang out.
Well, you're always welcome, my friend. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Anything you want to throw out to everybody? Because again, I believe it or not, I know right now our numbers have dwindled down who's left here on the live stream, but I do get a surge after the fact. So anything you want to tell everybody before you head out?
Yes, if you don't follow Keith already on CryptoCoinMindSet, do so. He puts out a lot of good content. He works with several other people who I haven't had a chance to meet, at least video face-to-face, but they've got great perspectives and they've got their own good channels. And keep accumulating Bitcoin and crypto and do your research. Awesome.
Again, I really appreciate you being here. Go take care of what you got to do with your family. And I look forward to the next, when are you putting out your next video now? Tomorrow?
Tonight. I'm doing Fridays just because that's how the timing works out, since I've got the momentum from this and the timing of everything on the family side. I can, it's like, okay, 8:30 plus time zones in Central.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
gotcha.
It'll be in about 37 minutes.
All right. We may be gone by then, although I got some messages I'm going to hit real quick, but we may be gone by then. But again, link to Brian's channel, Tiny Crypto Blog, in the description of this live stream. Go watch what this guy's got to say, because again, in case you didn't notice it, he just gave me an entirely new perspective today. So go get some new perspective.
I appreciate the help. And Philip, take care.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Take care, man.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Hi, brother. It's me and you. And we got, who we got here? Arcs, Crypto, and Mining. Awesome. Glad to have you, my friend. You're more than welcome to join us live if you'd like. The link should be in the live chat if you want to join us. If not, you're more than welcome to just be in the live stream. At this point, I appreciate whoever's left here in the live stream. I know we've been going now for a couple of hours, and I know Philip just joined us. Now, Philip, again, I know you haven't really probably been listening to the entire stream, but I got to tell you, you are the reason some people come here for this live stream, because literally Listen, I got text messages from 2 people tonight asking me, where's Philip? Where's Philip? I love it. You're like a staple here. They love you, Philip. They love you.
Oh, wow.
So I appreciate the fact that like they come here enough to know that, you know, Philip is like a staple here on Friday nights. And I did tell them, because it was ironic. Like I didn't even notice I was getting text messages. But then that second text message came in at the same time your text message came in. And I was like, oh, so I gave everybody the heads up that you had family things that was more pressing. And so that's why you weren't here. But yes, Philip, people were looking for you.
Oh, mercy.
All right, what do we got here? Let's see. I'm enjoying listening. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Matter of fact, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Tick that bell icon. And then after I'm done with this live stream, I'll go check out your channel because I'm not sure that I'm subscribed to you already. That the name does not completely sound familiar. But I mean, hey, you want to know what? We got to stick together here, crypto people. And cheers. Cheers. So, anything, did you DCA this week, Philip? Did you dollar cost average into anything this week?
Say what?
Did you dollar cost average into anything?
Yeah, I did. I actually put most of my money on Bitcoin this week. Right before Bitcoin sort of shot up, which was cool. And also put money on Stellar.
Nice.
When it was like 51, 52, and then it shot up. So, you know, that I felt good about that because what was the high this week of Stellar? Was it 56, 7, 8, something like that?
Stellar only went up to like 11 and a half. You talk about XRP?
Not Stellar, XRP, sorry.
Well, you know what, Philip? I'm not 100%, but I'll pull that up. First, let me take a look at what I don't have any content on my channel yet, but plan to. Hey, perfect. Excellent. I will still follow you. And I'll tell you what, once you start putting up some content, make sure you hit me up because I will help to spread that out and get the word out. Are either of you fans of Caspa? It's so funny. You're here a little bit later. I actually played a video from Crypto Jar. The link to his channel is in the description of this live stream, Arc. And I because on an earlier live stream I did this week, we were going through the market pricing, and I was talking about the price of Caspa, and I said, gee, I wonder, Crypto Jar, who is one of the guys I collaborate with on Matrix Money podcast, and he was doing mining with the KS0 miner and was trying to ROI on his investment, which was around $1,000. He just did, right after I mentioned it on that live stream, he just did a video about it. So again, if you want to learn more about it, he is definitely all about Caspa. And I got nothing against Casper. I kind of actually like Casper, but I'm not going to lie, I got no bags in Casper at this point, and I'm definitely not mining because since they put out the new miners, the difficulty for mining Casper has like shot through the roof. And he explains a lot about that in his latest video. So if you, like I said, the link to his channel's in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. And Philip, to answer your question, I don't know the answer. Let's go take a quick look here. Let me bring it back up. Whoops.
Yeah, it was XRP, not Stellar.
Yeah. I figured that's what you meant when you were giving me the price action. Okay, XRP right here. Let me bring that up, and then let me bring it on. Let me bring it up on the stream here. Hang on 1 second. Share XRP. Here we go. All right. So the current price is 64.2, which is actually down a little bit from when we started the live stream, Philip. But to answer your question, which was when did it go up? Let's take a look here. Let's go into the last 14 days. Yeah, we were hovering about a week ago. Yeah, right in here in this 47, 48 cent range. Remember last week when we were talking on this show, Crypto on the Rocks, we were in that 48 cent range, and bam, it kind of like the next day. Let's see, when did it hit that 50 range? Was the 19th, which was the Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, it was like shortly after that, boom, the price went up. It peaked out, it looks like, at around 57 cents and then has settled back down.
Yeah.
And like I said, is right now in that 54 cent range.
But I think I bought into it when it was 52 or 51 or 52. So I mean, those are the two I put my money in this past week.
Nice.
And then both of them, of course, shot up, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. So. Yes, we had a lot of good price action this week. You know what? Matter of fact, let me bring up, for those who missed it earlier, I've already kind of gone over it, but let me bring it back up, what our DCA is. And I don't think I ever, damn it. Sorry, TCB. I forgot to tell you what the final the second DCA for this week is. I'll tell everybody in a minute here. So yeah, I mean, right here, the only thing we're upside down in right now, or negative on right now, is LCX in our crypto portfolio. Right now, everything Bitcoin up is over 11%. Mm-hmm. That's huge.
Yeah.
Quant, even though now, Philip, remember when you and I were talking about Quant? Yeah. It was like $85, right?
Yeah.
Well, it went up. Whoops. What the hell did I do?
Was it 108 today or something like that? Or has it gone down again?
Right now? There we go. It went. It was like $85. It went up to like 95 when I bought it.
Yeah.
And then now it's at about 105. So winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing okay. And then XLM was the other one, and we're up about 6.25% on that. I bought it at 10. It's just over 11.
Yeah.
So that's where we are now. Philip, you get to know. Brian's going to have to watch the end of this video in order to find out. So the final tally was Quant is definitely. You don't probably know. Okay. My thought process with this, Philip, is to, again, I'm trying to show people how they can dollar cost average at like $25 a week into these cryptocurrencies to, again, affect their financial future. What I decided to do to give people the opportunity to see it in a range of a bunch of different cryptocurrencies was every 6 months to change it up. However, this particular set of cryptocurrencies, because I started late. We've only been doing it for about 3 weeks. I'm about 12 weeks behind ish. I've decided that starting today, we're going to do two. We're going to dollar cost average into two of these cryptos every week. And then at the beginning of the year, we're going to start a new crypto DCA portfolio. And I'm thinking, and I mentioned it to everybody, but you, I, and whoever else is here at the beginning of December is going to decide what the final cryptos are going to be, what the final altcoins are going to be. But it's going to be Web3 altcoins. Web3. So back of your head, you can start doing your homework, see what you think. Because I know Philip likes to do his homework, which is a good thing. But so now with the two, I went back and I checked while Brian was talking. I went back and I checked the Twitter feed for me, because again, Twitter cannot comment in our live chat, and I apologize for that. But we did get a one more vote that tossed it over the top for HBAR. So this week we're going to DCA into Quant again and HBAR. That'll be a first for HBAR. So this week, $50, 30 of which is going to go to Bitcoin in two separate purchases, and then Quant and HBAR. That's what we're looking at this week, Philip.
Okay. And for all those people out there, no, I don't like to do homework.
Yes, don't let him kid you. He'll come to me and be like, "Hey, I read this. What do you think?" Or, "Hey, I watched this. What do you think?" And I'm like, half the time I'm like, "I don't know, I ain't read that, or I ain't watched that, or whatever." Sometimes I have. If he's watching somebody like Mark Moss or whatever, I usually have watched it. But sometimes it's just like, oh, dude, I don't know. He's making me go do homework now. And it's okay, brother. I appreciate that.
You're way too kind. Way too kind.
Well, I don't know about that.
How's your family tonight, this week?
So funny you asked me that question. Tonight, I don't know. Do you remember Lexi when she came up? Although when you saw Lexi, she was probably about this big.
Yeah.
When she came up to visit.
Yeah.
Well, tonight was her first homecoming.
Oh gosh.
In high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I posted some pictures, so you'll have to go check those out.
All right.
And it made me think three things.
You're
One,
getting old.
Well, that was number two. I'm getting too old for this shit. Yep. One was she's getting too old too fast. And number three was, yep, it's time to start cleaning some items. I'll let you guys decide what those items are. Because although this kid, I think, was scared shit of me, that's probably a good thing. Anyway, that took her to, he seemed, in fairness, he seemed like a very nice young man. Very nice young man. This was unfortunately, I guess, the first time I met him. So, had to make a good impression. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting too old for this shit, brother. I really am, man. I really am. But yeah, the family's doing well. That was my my tonight thing. So go check out those pictures when you get a chance. And yeah, everybody's doing good. How about you? How about your fam? I know you got some things going on with Wendy and her dad, but otherwise, how are the kids?
Yeah, I mean, Paul's still on his road trip, which is
cool. That's right. How's that going? I forgot about that.
Good. He came back from California the other day, yesterday or the day before. So he's back in Colorado Springs. And he's with his sister, so that's pretty good.
Nice.
And she's trying to talk all of them into moving out there with her and hanging out in Colorado for a while. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well,
I know I'm not moving to Colorado, so
yeah, I didn't think you and Wendy would be. I didn't think so, but
not now, not right now, not with her dad the way he is.
I understand.
But and then Wendy she likes what she's doing, so when she decides that she's had enough, we're trying to figure out what kind of RV to buy. And I'm almost thinking a pull along would be better for us, so that we can disconnect and then use our car to get around. You know what I mean? And just leave the hookup at the RV park or something like that, the pull along, so.
Yep. Well, you know what? My younger sister and her husband have retired, and that's what they do. They do the reverse. They bought this humongous RV, and God bless them for being able to do so. And they tow their truck behind them, and then they just detach the truck, kind of like you're saying, just in reverse. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Philip, my sister and my brother-in-law love that lifestyle. They love it. They're all over the country. They, I occasionally get a call from this state, that state, whatever state. And when they want to settle in for a little while, they go and they'll work at the trailer park. you know, like my sister will go work in the office or something like that. And then my brother-in-law, he'll do like maintenance there or whatever. And they love it. And then when it's time to pick up roots, pick it up, give their notice, and they're off to the next state. And you know what? There's an appeal to that for me. I don't know about you, but there's an appeal to that for me.
I don't know about the working part.
Well, again, the work, it's like anything else, you know. I'm sure that's just to make sure it keeps the money even keeled and that kind of thing. You
Keep
know
the
what I
lights
mean?
on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're going to stay somewhere long enough,
Yeah.
it would make sense. Hey, you know what? I'm good at maintaining or maintenance, and she's good at keeping, you know, an office. So why not volunteer to do that for a few months, and we get free room and board, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. What we got here, Lori? Well, thank you. I appreciate all the positive comments. Oh, and you guys talk about good. See, Philip, we talk about good stuff. And I want to tell you, Philip, right here. She was one of the ones that was asking, where the hell's Philip? So, you know, here he is. He's here. He made it. He was able to make it.
That's nice.
It is nice. You got a fan following already on Crypto on the Rocks, Philip.
A fan following.
You got a fan following.
Is that a new expression? Fan following?
I don't believe so. If you said that to your kids, I think they know what you were talking about. So you tell them you got a fan following on Crypto on the Rocks. Then maybe they can come join us.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd love to have your kids here on part of the live stream. It'd be interesting to have their discussion, their input. Because I mean, it's not like, and here's the irony, Philip, is that I was actually talking about your kids before you got on, and talking about how they are into cryptocurrency, how they all do their own investments in cryptocurrency, and so on and so forth. So it would be good to have them actually join us. So extend that invitation for me, please, Philip.
All right, I'll do.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Philip is relaxing. So there you go. Obviously, I'm too intense, Philip. You're relaxing.
Well, I've been up since I go, and then I had two appointments at the VA today, so not a big deal. One was for my eyes. I got my eyes checked again, and then I had a phone conference, but I was already at the VA, so I just went into a room and talked to them through a phone conferencing right on premise. That was pretty cool. So
right. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. And then I was heading to my favorite little pub, and when I got there, I was told they're closing at 4 because of the incident that happened in Lewiston. A lot of the employees didn't want to work tonight, so that's okay.
Yeah, I get it. It's funny because I've had a number of people ask me about that whole thing, and I think I've told them, like, listen, you know what? I get why it happened in Lewiston, and it's tragic regardless. But like in other parts of the state of Maine, that whole thing would have lasted about 2 minutes before he was meeting his maker. That's just the facts.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
I have so many questions, and I don't really follow it, but I don't know why no one's asking questions like, how does a guy get in his car after he just shot a bunch of people and drive 5 or 10 minutes to the next place, and no one videotapes him, no one gets an ID, no one follows him, no one calls the cops? I haven't heard any of that. Maybe they have said that, but I haven't heard anything. I
haven't heard anything like that. And now, in fairness, I haven't delved that deeply into it. I've seen what I've seen from people I know who are posting about it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But like beyond that, I've honestly not delved into it. I just I don't know. It is what it is. I don't like promoting that kind of stuff, Phil.
Right.
I mean, you know, you and I have talked about this. And you know, not for nothing, like I said a few minutes ago here, a minute ago, is that I don't think that's indicative of the entire state, and that I think he would have met with an untimely end otherwise in other places.
I said that too earlier to Wendy. I said if he'd have done that
Oh.
somewhere else, that would have been done.
You're right, Lisa.
You're right.
You're right.
Hey, listen, you're absolutely right, Lisa. I said that to my wife or my daughter today. I said you're only hearing what the media wants you to hear. And you know,
Exactly.
sometimes I think that's so true, because they really, you noticed, I had a lady tell me this today, and I had to stop her because she says, you know, she was going on about how, you know, she's probably my age or a little older, and she was saying how back in her day none of this was happening. And I was just like, well, I would assume all of this was happening, we just didn't know about it,
You didn't hear about it. Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
And I said to her very nicely, I said, you know, I think about a lot of stuff a lot. I have lots of time to think, and we never hear, for example, we hear these atrocities, and we put all of our emphasis into these things, like this is what's happening, look what's happening, and it's always the AK, what, AR-15, you know,
Yeah.
what they're
Assault
trying to
weapons.
get rid
Blah
of, right?
blah blah blah.
But I said to her, I says, well, what happened to all the gangs in America, Chicago, you know, Detroit, Los Angeles, what these terrible gangs that just, before, you know, you'd hear about them like killing each other crazy, like, but
Yeah,
you
you
don't
don't hear it
see any.
anymore, even though it happens every week.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
week.
they probably kill each other more than anybody else, and yet it's like it's silence. It's
Exactly.
interesting.
You hear what they want you to hear,
Yeah,
because that doesn't play to the narrative. That
no, it
does not
doesn't.
play to the narrative.
And that's what's sad about everything. That's really what they do about everything, you know, like the crypto. You know what I mean? They're taking, like, they want to everybody I know that are friends of mine, I don't think any of them deal in crypto. They don't really understand it.
They don't
They don't
understand it.
want to
Sure.
understand it, and they think it's a bad investment, and I'm like, but they have other investments. That's what I think is crazy, is they put their money in other things.
Yeah, they probably put it in bonds, which are like useless at this point. You
Yeah.
might as well wipe your ass with them.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
hey, Lori too. Okay, we had Lisa, now Lori. Philip is awesome. There you go.
see, who are these people? You're probably putting their names up somewhere.
I am not. These are real people who are live on stream here at this point.
Yeah,
They don't want to come. I keep asking them to come on live. Now
I know, but I can see you putting people's names in there. Go, oh look, and then you're controlling. You know what I'm saying?
No. How do I make these people up? I mean, we got all kinds of people in here, including you, I might add, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know, I told
right,
you.
Steve.
I don't know.
And
this is going to be the crypto on the rocks, thanks to Philip.
Well, I think.
Yeah. Right. Hey, Philip, she's got an answer for you. Actually, I lie. Lisa has an answer for you. I am real.
I am real. Oh gosh. Well, that's good. So you're not an algorithm or something like that, right?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
that's
God.
hilarious. Hey, I like I said, this is going to be the Crypto on the Rocks with Philip show. That's what that's what this is going to be. And I got no issue with that. Philip's my brother. I love this man. I love his family. They're the best people. Again, Philip, you didn't hear it because you were probably very busy. You weren't even thinking about live stream at the point. But you know, when I was talking about, yeah, I'm sure Philip will be here in the beginning of the live stream, I'm like, you know, talk about good people. You know, you hear about all the bullshit happening in the world and all the evil that just goes on in the world, and then you meet people like Philip, Wendy, and their family. And this is what I was saying, that and they restore your faith in humanity. And You do, brother. I mean, you know what? I know you as well as anybody can know you, and you want to know what? You're good people. Your family are good people. So it's just that way. And obviously, they don't need my word for it because they can see it on their own because they're telling you right here. Philip is awesome, right? Wait, let me pop that back up there. Philip is awesome. So,
Oh my God. Well, thank you, ladies. That's so kind of you both.
so
Yeah,
anyway, but I told you, right? Yeah, we're going to do H bar and quant just to get back to rounding out
yeah.
our DCA this week.
And Bitcoin also.
Well, always Bitcoin, yes.
Right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's going to end up being with total of $50. 30 of it will be Bitcoin. And in 2 separate transactions because I want to keep it separate. And
Right.
then 1 H bar, 1 quant.
Nice.
Yep. So we'll see what that looks like next week. I don't know if I told you this or not. I've mentioned it a couple of times in the stream, but I do the dollar cost averaging on Coinbase on Wednesdays. I figure it's far enough away from one weekend, far enough away from the other weekend, smack dab in the middle of the week. So hopefully I get as good as pricing as I can get. So that's my plan, Stan.
Yeah. I just keep putting money into it.
Yes, sir. And that's what you got to do. I mean, see, that's kind of what we were talking about when Brian was here talking about dollar cost averaging and the key to your success in this particular asset class is to dollar cost average, be consistent with what you're doing on the day you're doing it, the amount you're doing, and what you're DCAing into, what's your dollar cost averaging into. That's the key. That's the key. And that's what I'm trying to show everybody here. And unfortunately, like I said, I got to double up a little bit because I want to swap it out for 6 months. So in order to catch up to the end of the year, I got some catch up to do. Let's see what we got here. Lisa says, invest in silver and gold. What is your view on that? Go ahead, Philip. You want to put your 2 cents in, and then I will talk.
I think that's great. I think silver and gold, I mean, of all things, gold is that's like, it's excellent. And I think that I think everyone should do that. You
got to diversify. I mean, as much as I'm pro crypto, I mean,
right.
You don't know. Spread it out, man.
Yeah, but silver and gold has been around since the beginning of time, so you can't lose. I mean, sometimes the value goes down, but overall, I think, if everything collapses, you can always take a gold and go and buy something. Somebody will take gold for something. So, I mean, silver, same way. I mean, silver doesn't have that same value as gold yet, but that's why silver.
But it has a lot more use case, though. It has a lot more use case than gold.
And if everything does go up in smoke, silver will go up quite a bit, I would assume, because now all of a sudden that's people understand what silver is. People understand what gold is. They might not understand crypto, but they do, or stocks, they're leery of that, but they're more apt to buy gold and silver than any of those other two. You know what I mean? Because it's something they like. It's something they can cash in on.
I don't disagree. And right here, current price of gold over $2,000. If I remember correctly, didn't a week ago we look at gold and it was like 1,900 maybe?
Yeah, and a month ago it was 18.
Yeah. I mean, it's continued. Listen. Yeah. Okay, here we go. You're gonna get Keith on one of his tangents now. See what you did, Lisa? All right, here we go. Listen, Philip's right. Gold, silver, that kind of stuff has been money since time is old. Okay. And it is a great investment. I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it. Okay. And when you're thinking about investing, you should think about diversifying your investment. And again, I am very pro crypto, in case you ain't figured that out by Crypto on the Rocks here. But as much as I'm pro crypto, I also talk all the time about diversifying into gold. I tell you about using Acre Gold. Again, link to that to Acre Gold's in the description of this live stream. For $50 a month, you can dollar cost average into gold and have it delivered directly to your door. And you know what? You should be doing that. And you can pick the different amounts with different amounts per month, etc. But the like bare minimum is like $50 a month for 2.5 grams of gold delivered direct to your door. And Philip's right. You know, okay, gold money forever, but what about silver? And there are other commodities. I mean, let's copper. I mean, keep tungsten. I mean, keep the litany of possible commodities going. Okay. And I haven't talked about and don't promote any of those other ones currently. I am looking into another one that does gold bullion and silver. Just for those who are interested in trying to get into the silver piece of the market. I don't do that currently. But yeah. If you have the opportunity to do it, do it. Why not? How can that hurt you? It can't. It can't. Look what happened to the price that I just had up on the screen here. And like Philip mentioned, that was 2 months ago, it was like $1,800. In the matter of 2 months, you're talking like, what the hell? You're talking like a $200 in increase. And that's huge when you think about it, because remember, the price of gold is set every day in London. They basically got a stranglehold on the price of gold, unlike cryptocurrency, which is why you see such wild price volatility in cryptocurrency. Well, okay, that's one of the reasons why you see that kind of price volatility. See, you're very welcome, Philip. And then I do, but every month both for 6 months now. I'm guessing you're saying you're investing in cryptocurrency and gold, or gold and silver, Lisa. Which is it? Tell us which ones you're doing. And the fact that you're doing it for 6 months now, perfect. You're doing it consistently, and you're getting it. Hopefully, either you're buying it direct or you're having it shipped directly to you, and storing that properly. And if it's gold and silver, you need to make sure that you're not storing it all in one place all the time. And if it is crypto and gold, you definitely need to make sure that you are using a cold storage wallet for your cryptocurrency. Gold and silver. Gold and silver. So see, Philip, Lisa's taking a page out of your book. Gold and silver, money since forever.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you, Lisa.
Yeah, and you got to, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you just got to. You just got to. I mean, end of the day, the government's not coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to save yourself. You got to be in a good position to be able to take care of yourself, your family, whatever. And what'd you say here? AppMex. I'm guessing that's where you're getting yours. I'm not familiar with them, to be completely honest with you. Oh my God, you sold your Bitcoin last year. We won't hold that against you, Lisa. We won't hold that against you. But my question to you is, are you dollar cost averaging back in? Because now's the time you should be, before these ETFs get approved and the price of Bitcoin skyrockets. You're only 6 months out of the halving, if nothing else. Let's assume ETFs never get approved. They never get approved. The halving's still coming. The reward for mining Bitcoin is about to get cut in half. Scarcity continues to increase with regard to cryptocurrency, and the adoption of cryptocurrency continues to increase. So again, you got demand increasing, you got the supply decreasing. Price is going to go up. Price is going to go up. So if you haven't started back to buying your Bitcoin, you should. My opinion, you need help, let me know. You know how to reach me. I know you know how to reach me. So do that, and we'll see what we can work out to help you out, because I don't know. What do you think, Philip? She needs to get back in Bitcoin or what?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that you, I mean, honestly, yeah, most likely possible, but also remember that if she has a certain amount of money that she's putting toward it all, and she's taken what she would have done in Bitcoin and putting it in gold and silver, she's going to have to figure out, do I increase that amount? What don't, or do I decrease something else? Do I stop doing, going out to eat
Yep.
three
Or
times a month?
do I stay with what
You
I'm
know what I'm
doing?
saying? I mean, like you have a set amount of funds that you distribute, and when you finish it, that's it. That's all you have, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, everybody might have good intentions to want to buy gold and silver and Bitcoin and a dozen other kind of cryptos and bonds and stock, but you really can't do it all, right?
You're right. And that's where you got to decide. Philip's right. That's where you got to decide how you allocate that dollar cost averaging. And
Yeah.
I would say, tell me if you think otherwise, Philip, but I would say you can do all of those things, even at $25 a month. Excuse me, like we're doing $25 a week.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yeah, you can split your money. You can split it up 25 different ways. If you did
Yeah.
$25, you could do a dollar to this and that and this. So yeah, you can do it. Like, yeah. I mean,
However, Philip's correct. Philip's correct.
I mean, I have goals right now, and so I'm not able to do everything I want to do until I reach my goals on certain things. Like I have a goal for LCX, I have a goal for um, H bar, I have a goal for XLM, I have a goal for Cardano. Not so much that I have a goal for it. I just, because I get that 2% or 5%, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's already making me money,
Yes.
where the
Yes.
other ones aren't, aren't, what do you call it? What's the word I want to do?
So you're talking about staking.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm not so, even though I have, I don't have tons and tons and tons, but I'm growing Cardano. I'm
Yes.
buying Cardano along the way with like the $1 Cardano kind of thing.
Yep.
And but I'm also trying, some weeks I don't buy Bitcoin, and then other weeks I buy a lot of Bitcoin. I may put all my money into Bitcoin one week because I felt like I should.
Yep.
Like this past week, I just felt like I needed to invest a big chunk of it into Bitcoin, and so I did, and it paid off for me because the price has gone up, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But there's just certain things I'd like to do, but I'm not there yet. But once I meet my goals, then I could concentrate on something else. It's
Exactly.
sort of like paying off a credit card. If you have a bunch of credit cards, the way to get it paid off is you start with the one that's the lowest, maybe. So you feel good about getting that paid off. And then you take the money that you paid on that, and now you start on the next one, but you double it. And before you know it, you've got most of those credit cards paid off, and you're feeling pretty good about it. That's sort of the same mindset, that I have goals to get these other things to a certain point, and then I can start putting more emphasis in the things that I wanted, and see them grow. That's
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a great analogy, but that's for
Philip,
me, it's just fun.
I think that's a perfect analogy. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has to go according to their own risk tolerance. Brian mentioned it when he was talking about how to DCA and how to take profits and so on. You've got to do what's good for you. And what is good for Philip may not be good for Keith. And what's good for Keith may not be good for Lisa in this case. And what's good for Lisa may not be good for Lori, and so on and so forth. So you got to operate on what's best for you. And just to touch on what Lisa's saying here, I've left it up on the screen here for a minute. I don't know much about Bitcoin. I bought it because my son talked to me about it, or talked me into it. I am learning. Well, your son did you a good service by talking you into it. You need to get back into it, in my humble opinion, and listen to your son, because he seems to be on the right track. That's all I'm going to say about that, I guess. Was it a bad idea for my friend to get rid of Bitcoin and go into Monero? Okay. Do I have this in me is the question. Is there any chance you want to chime in on this, Philip? If not, I will jump on it.
No, that's a dangerous jump in.
Okay. Here we go. I probably should have went and got a beer. Anyway, okay. Is it a bad idea that my friend got rid of Bitcoin? Personally, I would still kept some of my Bitcoin. That's just me, but each person's got to do what they want to do. And then got into Monero. Now, I don't know, Lori, if you've been here since the beginning of the live stream, but way back, maybe 10 minutes into the live stream, I was talking about Monero and privacy coins in general. And honestly, I am a very big proponent of Monero and privacy coins. I believe that as the global economy disintegrates and goes into chaos, which it's going to do, and as they try to force CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, on people, I believe that privacy coins are going to play a bigger role in this ecosystem and the future ecosystem. So, short answer is, again, my opinion, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy on the interwebs.
On the interwebs?
On the interwebs. I think that it is a good idea to hold some privacy coins. And honestly, you people are making me tell some of my secrets ahead of time. One of the future dollar cost averaging portfolios you're going to be picking from will be privacy coins. But that's not yet. Not yet. But the bottom line is, yes, I think it's a good idea to have some privacy coins. Monero, got no issue. Longest standing privacy coin. The government's got a bounty on its head, literally paying any hacker that can hack it. I want to say something like $500,000 or whatever it is. So I don't know that I would sell my Bitcoin for Monero, but I would hold some Monero. Now, we got Arc Crypto Mining here, and his answer to your question is yes, in his opinion, that it was a bad idea for your friend to get rid of their Bitcoin for Monero. Oh, wait, he's just typed in something else. Hang on. Let's try that again. Truth is, it's not bad to have some Monero. Exactly. I just wouldn't be a maxi about it. Exactly. So if you're not familiar, Lisa, with the term maxi, basically that means all you think is Monero, 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 and nothing else matters. Just like you'll hear in this space a lot of terms like Bitcoin maxi. So in other words, they think Bitcoin is the only real cryptocurrency and everything else is a pile of shit. Well, they're stupid. But anyway, that notwithstanding, Arc Crypto Mining's point here is that it's not a bad idea to have some Monero, and it's not. I told you, if you've been in my channel anytime, I mine Monero. I loaded a GUI wallet on a separate computer that is got all kinds of firewalls, VPNs, etc. And all it is dedicated to is mining Monero. That's it. That's all it does. And I can use my computer to do that. Now, again, You're not getting rich mining Monero in a GUI wallet. Just not. It's not about that. It's about having the ability to help secure the Monero network by mining it. And it's the ability to get Monero without having to buy it on another exchange by mining it. So you're earning the reward for doing the job of securing the network, which is what cryptocurrency mining is all about. Okay. So Ark, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate that input. And did I say Lisa? I think it was Lori. Lori, actually. Yeah, sorry, Lori. It was Lori that had a friend that did that. So I apologize for getting the person wrong there. But end of the day, my 2 cents, my 2 Satoshis, as you'd say in the cryptocurrency space, is that having some privacy coins. And again, I'll tell you what my faves are. Currently, my favorite privacy coins are Monero, Darrow, and Pirate Chain. Those are my favorites. I think those are the ones that'll be long-standing where privacy coins are concerned in the cryptocurrency space. How are we able to use Bitcoin if the economy collapses? Wow, you're really testing me tonight, aren't you? Okay, listen. You can actually let me leave that up so people can see. Even as we speak, you can use Bitcoin with the economy being as it is. Yes, you have to go and utilize it in a place where cryptocurrency is currently accepted. There are some abilities to be able to use a debit card so like a Visa, MasterCard, debit card in order to spend your cryptocurrency so you could use it that way. Ooh, sorry. But the question also hits on if the economy collapses. Okay. Keith's 2 cents. And Philip, please feel free to jump in here at any point. Keith's 2 cents is the economy collapsing is a matter of time. Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when I say the economy, it's probably going to begin with the collapsing of banks like we saw in 2008. It is already happening. So far this year, we've had 5 banks collapse. 5. Do you remember hearing about those on the mainstream media? How about you, Philip?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'll tell you, they weren't covered extensively. It was not covered on the mainstream media extensively. Because why? They don't want to panic the public. Right. They did put the information out there because at some point you got to get it out there, and people are panicking that they're not going to be able to get their funds. They basically overextended the FDIC in order to accomplish this. And there you go. But here's the thing. They technically didn't collapse, Lisa. They actually have been the recipient of a lot of the customers of the banks that did collapse. Because what the government has kind of forced through their FDIC insurance currently for people to do is to take your money out of a local regional bank or one of these collapsing banks and move it into a bank that the government deems is too big to fail. Bank of America is one of those that they say is too big to fail. And so they're reaping the rewards of the failure of the current existing TradFi banking system. At the end of the day, here's the thing. I could literally talk another couple hours about this, but let's try and put it into a smaller perspective, okay? Just to answer your first, let me go back to that. Let's answer your question, okay? When and if, not if, when the banks and the economy collapse, more and more people will instinctively move to whatever the next thing is. The governments are going to try and make it a central bank digital currency that they can just issue. Boom, there it is. They'll print it out of thin air on a centralized system, but they'll also control it. So that will be one way. And secondarily, other businesses, like you see the huge amount of business growth in El Salvador, who adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. The businesses are exploding, and bonds are exploding. Everything in El Salvador is exploding right now. And I'm talking in a positive way. Okay. I know back in the 70s, El Salvador was like the war-torn country. These days, El Salvador is where tech goes to grow. Thanks to Bitcoin. Okay. So when that happens, when the collapse happens, other businesses will jump into the cryptocurrency, and that's where you're going to spend your Bitcoin. And I know that's kind of ramming the answer there a little bit, but I also don't want to be here for 3 hours kind of explaining it. So that, long and short, is the answer. Art Crypto saying oh my goodness, I need my glasses. The interesting part for me is, what will Bitcoin be valued with, as it currently has a value tied to fiat? You're right. Okay. Oh, Philip, do me a favor, brother. When we get off this message, this question reminds me, please send me your PO box. That way I can send you that book. I want to send you that book.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Arc Crypto is pointing out a good point. Currently, when you log into like CoinGecko, you get Bitcoin priced in USD, because USD is still the standard, still the world reserve currency. The point is, BTC will be the standard when everything changes. The book I was telling Philip I want to send to him, I'll show it here. I've got no affiliate relation with this book. I am trying to get the author to sit down and have an interview with me, so hopefully you'll see that on my channel at some point. Let me just remove this. Philip, I'm going to put myself full screen for a minute so people can see this. Can we see it? Maybe. The Bible and Bitcoin is what that is, and for whatever reason, I can't get that to kind of show there. Sorry. That's the first book. But the other book that you should read, you can get it on Amazon. Again, I got no affiliate relationship with it anywhere. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. And that book answers, in my opinion, Arc Crypto's question. Bitcoin won't be valued in something else as it is in fiat at this point. Eventually, Bitcoin will be the standard unit of account. That's coming. And let's see what we got here. Okay. Without, again, getting into a long answer to this question, Lisa, the answer is yes. It's already happening. The de-dollarization of the globe is already underway. You hear it with the BRICS, who are talking about having a gold-backed fiat currency. You have it with those same BRICS nations telling all nations that they should transact in their own currency, not the US dollar. You have, in one of my videos, I talk about the petrodollar, and you already have Saudi Arabia and all of the other Arab nations that we are now back suppling to because we are no longer energy independent, who are de-dollarizing and selling oil. The agreement was to sell oil only in US dollars, so everyone had to hold US dollar. They're no longer doing that. That's no longer the standard, Lisa. The bottom line is the US dollar loses its value every single day, not just because of the de-dollarization that's happening, but by the amount of extra dollars we print every day to fight 2 proxy wars, to pay the $33 trillion worth of debt we owe, etc., etc., etc. The US dollar collapse is imminent. Well, eventual, possibly imminent. Either way, it's coming. So the long and short answer is yes, it's going to lose its value. Our crypto also, they do. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Then do we lose stable coins, or could they somehow be used in giving BTC value? Another, wow, these are great questions, people. Not questions I expect to be answering after I've had a half a dozen beers. Damn it. All right. Let's see if I can make this another short answer. Do we lose stable coins? Eventually, I think we do. I don't, however, see that as being imminent. That's probably not going to happen until the US dollar collapse. Because currently, I mean, I realize they have stable coins pegged to all different fiat currencies. However, the majority of the stable coins are currently pegged to USD. So once USD is no longer worth anything, is hyperinflated, is no longer the world reserve currency, I think then we're going to see stable coins removed from that, from the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And I think we'll probably see, like it started, a more BTC standard for trading, investing, whatever. My opinion. Now, could we get an alternative stable coin of some point? Like, so let's say, for example, the BRICS decide to make that gold-backed fiat currency, and then a stable coin is launched pegged to that. Absolutely. But I think that is much less likely. And I think that it is, while stable coins are currently useful with regard to making transactions, because again, you're testing me when I've had too many beers. The Office of the Comptroller of Currency in the United States allowed all banks and central banks to be able to run stablecoin nodes on purpose to be able to utilize stablecoins as a form of payment currently. So in theory, if a bank wanted to accept USDT or USDC as payment, they could, because they run the nodes. You're not going to see that because that undermines USD. But yes, in theory, that could happen. I believe eventually, and now you're going to ask me probably next, what's the time frame I'm thinking? I'm thinking that time frame for seeing the phase out or change over to 20 plus years. Because remember, we're currently in a position where we're just starting, or just at the beginning of the adoption of cryptocurrency. Once it goes, it's going to go quick, but we're not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think for mass adoption, we need some sort of stable coin, though not. So I'm guessing you're asking, do we need a stable coin for mass adoption? Currently, yes, it would help facilitate that. Because people are in the mindset of, for example, US dollar. So if you could pay with USDT, like I was just mentioning, because these banks already run these nodes, or USDC, whatever it is, of course, people would be able to relate with the changeover from current system to cryptocurrency. But I think, unfortunately, what we're going to see is that interim is a CBDC. And that CBDC is going to be called the dollar. Well, okay. For us in the United States, that CBDC is going to be called the dollar. And unfortunately, it's going to not be anything like the dollar. It's going to be completely controllable and the complete antithesis of cryptocurrency. But to answer your question, yes, I think initially a stable coin would be helpful for adoption. You guys have asked some amazing questions tonight, don't you think, Philip? I mean, like, those are some of the best questions we've had.
Yeah, I think that those are the best questions we've had so far. They just
crazy.
keep coming and coming and coming. My head's about to blow up.
Well, I think we're going to try and wrap it up here at this point. So everybody knows. And first off, this is the longest Crypto on the Rocks we've ever had. We're almost touching 3 hours at this point. And I want to say thank you to everybody, absolutely everybody, TCB, Brian, that was here earlier, everybody in the live chat. Philip, you know I love you, my brother. I really appreciate you being here. Actually, we just got something else. Hang on. Let's central bank digital currency is their attempt by diverting people away from crypto. Yeah, you're 1,000%. Art Crypto, you're 1,000%. It's going to be their next iteration of the US dollar, because that's going to be their next way of controlling it, because at this point, I mean, the US dollar printing is out of control. Yeah, I can shut my yap. You're not going to shut your yap, brother. I mean, if you've got another question, throw it in there. Even if Philip needs to go, I'll answer it for you. I'll stay on. I told you, Crypto on the Rocks, I'll stay on until everybody's done. But I mean, if we don't have any other questions, I am going to try and wrap it up. And Ark, I appreciate you being here. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you being here. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. So I can go find your YouTube channel and I can subscribe to you. And then when you start putting content, make sure you hit me up so I can help you to promote that. And maybe we can talk on an offline video chat or something and figure something out to help you grow your channel, and maybe even jump in here on Crypto on the Rocks. Because, you know, as much as all the people here seem to like Philip instead of me, we need to have other people here on Crypto on the Rocks. So, all right, my brother, what do you got? Wrap us up. I know you're asleep already on me, right?
Well, I got up pretty early this morning, so yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. But no, it's been really interesting. It's how people are really in tune with these questions. You can tell they're in tune with crypto and trying to figure out what it all means, you know. And not sometimes, that's a great thing. And so I've enjoyed it.
No, I think it's been great. Like you and I just said, I mean, these have been the best questions we've had at all in Crypto on the Rocks. So I really, really appreciate that. And you know what? Make sure you guys come back. Appreciate that. Thank you for being active in the live chat. I am going to wrap it up because I need to let my brother get to sleep over here. When you see Wendy, you tell her I said hey, and I hope everything goes well with her dad. And make sure you invite your kids, because I would love to have them join us here on a Friday night. And thank you for making it here, Philip. If you didn't make it, I understood, but I appreciate the fact that you busted your butt and got here. So thank you, my man.
Thank you. Say hi to your family.
I absolutely will. Oh, yeah, one last one. It looks like he's right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Ark. Like I said, make sure you hit me up. And yes, it's been fun, and you've helped to make it fun because you've asked some good questions, and I appreciate that. We need to get the information out so everybody has the opportunity to be prepared for what's coming, because it's coming. And crypto is just the means to the ends, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, my friend, you have yourself a good night. I will be talking to you on Tuesday for sure. And right, is it this Tuesday or next Tuesday?
No, it's the following Tuesday.
The following Tuesday. Okay, no problem. The following Tuesday. So I'll see you next Friday then. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Just to remind you, Monday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern for my live streams during the day, and every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Crypto on the Rocks. You control the show, so make sure you're here. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Philip, blessings to you and your family, my friends.
All right, you too. Love you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Love you.
All right, bye.
Bye.